And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
and you
not
took my
going
time to God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend Nigeria.
No, sorry.
Alexi.
I'm sorry.
There is
Alexi.
Some of this rally make my blood pressure go up.
Dr. Damages, please, I want Soli to tell us who are the fools on this panel.
I consider you a fool. Yeah.
On this panel, yeah. Who are the fools?
I will explain the foolish statement that you made. When you were talking about Sowore.
I made a foolish statement.
Yes, you did.
You must be very stupid if you don't know how to respect your elder. You are very, very stupid. Are you crazy? You must be very stupid to use that word on your elders. Am I your mate? You're a very stupid boy. Can you learn how to talk?
If you cannot handle it, don't ask me.
Can you learn how to talk?
Mute your mic.
See, don't be fooled with the comment section hype. So
excuse me.
Okay, hold on, guys.
I expected you to ask him to withdraw that word. Nobody is a fool on this panel.
Okay, hold on.
Stupid. Can you call your
hold on, everybody. I know we are ranting.
Can you call your father a fool?
No, hold on.
If my father behaves like you, yes, I would.
No, please, everybody, calm down.
Uncle, right? I have the right to address Sowore the way I like. You don't know what Sowore did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That is the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%.
Okay.
You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Fiscally, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. Do you understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't yet say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid. I'm not joking. So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Okay.
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because you mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to manage them.
Comment.
What did you say?
Comment.
I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him.
So when he gets your time, then you make up.
No. He mentioned my name.
If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out.
Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on, don't use such word now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, viewers at home, and all those who will be joining us or who are already in the studio. I just want to welcome you all to this special edition of Special Discussion. Today, we are going to be basing our discussion on one singular act, which is the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC. You all know, and for those of you who have been following development in Nigeria, and of course the southern Nigeria, which is, let's say Southeast Nigeria, you'll have known that for 53 years, after the Civil War, the federal government and the government of Nigeria, subsequent governments right from then till today, has been looking for how to start they already have promised to start this development of the Southeast, which was coined the 3 Rs. And that 3 Rs was conceived before we were born, but we never got to see it. We never got to participate in it. We never got to be part of it. In fact, some of us grew up hearing people talk about the 3 Rs that is yet to come, where development that was hitherto in the southeast will be restored, and government will pay more attention to the what was happening in the southeast, especially those parts of the southeast Nigeria that was destroyed. We have waited and waited, and it has become like we are waiting for Godot's. And of course, if you read Waiting for Godot, you know that Godot never really came till this moment. We are still waiting for him. And so that's how the story has become concerning the people of the southeast Nigeria. The hoped politics was played, government head commissions were set up, a national reform whatever. The committee that was supposed to reform the constitution was set up. The constitution that was supposed to look into the southeast was set up. All those setups all gathered dust, and they are lying somewhere on one of the shelves in the presidency, or maybe one of the ministries. But the present government led by President Ahmed Tinubu decided to do what Napoleon do, which is to allow the Southeast Commission to come into force, even though it's without it's not without a caveat, because before now it was the southeast that was demanding for it, but now every other part of Nigeria has a development commission. So consequently, it's become everybody's business, and every other area of Nigeria can as well benefit from it. Sorry, I'm a bit everywhere because I don't have all the videos I needed, but it's okay. So now we decided to hold a discussion on this, just on the Southeast, because we feared what the budget, defending the budget in the Senate committee, when they presented themselves there, was mind-boggling, because any Southeast Nigerian person that you meet will tell you without any fear of contradiction what the Southeast Nigeria needs, what we need. The smallest, youngest boy in the Southeast, the youngest girl in the Southeast will tell you exactly. So it beats us when we hear that for you to get what's to be done, you need to meet stakeholders. I don't understand. What are the stakeholders? And so we begin to probe into what was going on, only for us to realize that even though the guy who is heading the Southeast Development Commission is not a pushover, as a matter of fact, he was an award-winning, sometime in 2016, he won the, what was that award called? A Young People's Award, which he won. And he's very well read. As we all know, okay, let me just go through. Mark Okoye is the one who heads that Southeast Development Commission. He has a strong background in governance and economic development. He's currently the managing director of them. Mark Okoye achieved his achievements include being the youngest commissioner at the age of 30 and spearheading revenue reforms that boosted monthly revenue by 300%. He also received several awards, including the 2016 Young Person of the Year. So, in education and understanding, Mr. Okoye is well read, and I think I have a video of him. I will probably be able to have a chance to play it. He also has featured in many talks. So as for brilliancy, he knows brilliancy. But when a development commission that the people have yearned for 50 years, 53 years now, comes and the person who's supposed to be heading it begins to talk, the everyday politics, we begin to be afraid that, voila, the government is going to come in and alas, what we are hoping for is not going to be achieved, because once politics come into it, it is politics all the way. We all know what has happened to the Niger Delta Development Commission. Up to today, they have decided to engage themselves in things that are not helping the South. There are many more things they could have been able to do, but they've become a government of their own, leaving their own function to begin to do functions that is not supposed to be theirs. And so we want to nip this in the bag before it gets out of hand. And so welcome, to this ride, this discussion. Please come and have a bite at it, and we'll see how it goes. Yes, my name is KJ, and I'm here to just, twist the tiger's tail. Okay.
Thrown his weight behind an ambitious plan by the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, to transform the region into a $200 billion economy within 10 years, even as lawmakers warned the agency against mismanaging public funds and urged it to prioritize impactful agriculture. Managing Director of the Commission, Mark Okoye, unveiled the economic blueprint during the agency's 2026 budget defense before the Senate Committee on Southeast Development Commission in Abuja. The commission sought legislative backing for a proposed $140 billion appropriation to drive what he described as the commission's real takeoff year. Joining us on this show to discuss the regional transformation agenda that received broad political stakeholder endorsement at the recently concluded Southeast Vision 2050 Forum is Mark Okoye, founding Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Southeast Development Commission, SEDC. Good morning, Mark Okoye, and thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, and thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Well, let's start with, the policy ideological background to these development commissions. Many Nigerians are very skeptical that, you're having regional development commissions in the Southeast, in the North, and everywhere. But we have seen these development commissions that failed. We had UMPADEC. We had the NDDC. What is the story? Just confusion, uncertainty, corruption. And now, well, let's leave that. You are in charge of the SEDC, Southeast Development Commission. So, the Vision 2050, what is the guarantee that this SEDC will provide sustainable growth and development for the people of the Southeast? I know you have partners, UNDP. The governors were at the event you organized. They said they will commit, was it $5 billion each that they promised? But Nigerians are saying, what will come out of it? We have had these stories before. What will be different this time?
No. Thank you so much, Ruben. And like I said, it's a pleasure to be here. I think for us at the SEDC, the SEDC represents an aspiration for broadly maybe 50 million Igbos around the world, and maybe 22 million Igbos who are resident in the region. And we've been pleading for this agency for the last 54 years. In the last, under the last presidency, I believe we got past third reading, but it was not done for some reason. Mr. President came in after 6 presidents, 5 military administrators. He was the first to do it. It traces its history back to the 3 R's, post-Civil War construction. So for us in the region, everyone sees this organization and there's ownership. There's ownership, there's commitment, there's interest, right? So for us and the board, we take this as a very, very serious initiative. I know there's skepticism, but where we're coming from and what we've seen and what we've tried to do in the last 1 year has really been one where it is not our plan. We're seeking the thoughts, the ideas of the entire stakeholder system, our diaspora, our governors, our stakeholders and all of these different buckets so that we can get their views and aspirations and have them key into what we have as our vision. In simple terms, we see it as our own federal platform that will champion a long-term development agenda, working closely with the states. We believe that the SEDC, with the state governments, can transform the region to become the preferred investment destination in Africa. We're looking at broadly 4 areas. One is that we want to drive the size of that economy from about $40 billion to $200 billion over the next 10 years, with strong collaboration between our diaspora, our private sector, our governors across industrialization, agriculture, creative economy, and technology. Secondly, if you just Google the search, you would see that the people in the Southeast are passionate about wanting their own port, wanting their own regional rail line, wanting their gas pipelines. But you and I know that if we put those things in the budget, we will be building it for the next 20, 30 years. What we want to do with the SEDC, and have committed to doing it with the state governments in the region, is to deliberately plan for those projects, take them and get them bankable, make it investable, such that there's clear business case for investment, so that we can take it internationally and raise the funding for those initiatives. So we're thinking of running this organization very differently from how you see a typical government agency being run. Yeah.
Your money still comes from the government's coffers.
Yes.
You made reference to the first year when you were speaking just now, and it seems the first year was, according to your team, focused on institutional framework development. But some critics have come out to say, well, you received 5 billion naira for the first year, and with that 5 billion, you did stakeholder engagement, you did investment promotion, you did, people are saying, was that the correct way to start? Because they would have thought that, yes, 5 billion in the scope of big infrastructural projects may not be that much money, but I think there was an expectation that at least salaries would have been paid at the bare minimum. What did you guys do with the 5 billion that you received?
Fantastic question. We were set up on February 10th last year. The first day of office was February 11th, right? And in that first session, everything we're saying from our 10-year strategic roadmap for the organization approved. Budget approved by management, by the board, first 2 days. Anyone who has experience at federal government setting up an organization can be painstaking, right? But really, so what we did last year, everything around procurement processes, getting the required staff across different departments, putting them in, designing the structure, building the right relationship between the board and the management, reaching out to our critical stakeholders. Every single governor was met multiple times by the commission to share our in and get their buy-in. The entire private sector was met, all 170 of them, Manufacturers Association, SMEs, everybody, to get their buy-in into the agenda. Diaspora was met on multiple occasions. Through Twitter space, we met 5,000 people. Listened to them for 7 hours, right? We went abroad, we went to the Afro-Exim to let them understand that we'll be at the IATF because we want to run a more sustainable model that helps us attract long-term funding. So to answer your question, and answer it in 2 buckets, the Southeast faces an infrastructure deficit of $10 billion annually. You add the budgets of the states in that region, it's barely maybe a maximum of just about $2 billion. But that budget still has to pay for salaries, it has to pay for all these other different things. So the question is, how do we fill that gap? Can we fill that gap from federal government funding? We can't. But there's $22 billion of diaspora funding that's constantly coming into the country. There's another $50 to $100 billion of infrastructure financing that's around the African continent and abroad. Can you get that by sitting in Nigeria? Can you get that by sitting in Enugu? So these were the justifications for spending only a little bit of that money. The 5 billion, it only came on the end of December. Till today, I haven't earned a salary. My EDs have not earned a salary. The board members don't get allowances.
How much came out of the 5 billion? Do you spend out of the 5 billion for? Because from what you said, said interaction, Twitter Spaces. I know they don't pay for Twitter Spaces. In fact, on my Twitter page, if I do Spaces for you, say you engage 5,000 people, I will get 50,000 people on my Twitter Space. If I engage for. So, how much did you spend on all of this engagement, and where were you seeing the money to spend before the 5 billion came?
Oh, we had to tap into donors.
So you have to tap into donor fund. So how much of the donor fund did you spend?
How much of donor? No, you can't spend their money. They would run their own process.
So how much of that, the donor fund that came, that you spent before the 5 billion came?
I'll say maybe I'd probably have to put the figures together because
you have to know the figures.
No, I can't. No, let me explain. Let me explain to you how donors work. If donors want to support you, right, they can do it in two folds. They either say, Rufai, we're going to support this great project on public awareness, and they will put the monies in your account. Or they say, Rufai, what do you want?
Okay, so calculate how much the donors put down before the 5 billion came. And how much did you have to take out of the 5 billion?
The likes of the UNDPs had given us had supported us with anything from $300,000 to $400,000 across their own events.
So all the event, $300,000, $400,000.
Yes.
Yeah. So after they supported with $300,000, $400,000, is it that one cumulatively or UNDP alone?
No, cumulative.
So do you see one of the problems? Some of us, there's a video going around about Rufai, and I don't subscribe to that. The work of a journalist is to ask the tough questions. It's not to romanticize the guest. And if the guest is not able to answer the question, then you can know how that is going to go, that organization. So one of our problems here with this, young man who is very brilliant is the fact that you are telling us about how donors work. We all have received donor fundings for different things. We know how donors work. There are donors who give you money directly, and they tell you at what pace you can use their money. How many percent will go in? You keep giving them up-to-date analysis of how many percent have gone to that. Some will divide it. This will go for welfare. This will go for infrastructure. This will go for this. So haven't come to television, national television, and you don't have a figure of how much the donors are giving to you and how much you've been able to expand. To me, it's a no. It's not doing due diligence. That means you don't have your hand on top of the game, because you should know. Right now, you are saying government funds have not entered, but donors' funds have come in, and you can't even tell us in one breath how much of the donors' funds that you have. That to me is a hard swallow, But I'm not going to fall off the stairs because of that. I'm just going to keep listening. So listen along with me. I see CM, welcome. Let's follow this to an end, and then we'll go from there.
So everything. So you were running everything with over $300,000.
Yes, not that they're giving us.
No, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were running.
They cover their own expenses.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but when December now came and 5 billion now came, how much did you take out of the 5 billion?
How much did we take out of the 5 billion?
Yeah.
So, Rufai, as it stands, like what was captured in that budget document, right, was that we had a 140 billion naira budget.
Okay, see, for me right now, as a theater artist and a person who studied body language, your body movement, the mere fact that he's drinking more water is even showing that he's under tension. That means that's not good. The mere fact that he's drinking more of the water, it shows that he's totally, Oseni have totally flawed him, and Oseni is going to make a mincemeat of him, because this is what we learn. If some of you would think, journalism is just getting up and asking questions. No, you read the body language and know where the person is, getting into trouble. And if you want to rubbish the person, you can use that opportunity to do that. However, I'm not sure that Oseni is asking him because he wants to make a mincemeat of him, but to bring out the facts, to give him opportunity to explain to the world what he was able to do with donors' funds before government funds coming. My fear is that we have waited for this development commission for so long. And for it to come now, and somebody telling us cock and bull story of engaging stakeholders, to me, it's a no-no. It's not from outside. The stakeholders, the diaspora support will always be there. What have you shown? What have you done? You said to start a seaport will be too much of a project for you. What about starting other projects that are less than seaports? What is it? what does people in Ebonyi State need that will help bring about development quickly and a quick turnaround? What does the people of Abia need? What does the people of Imo need? What does the people of Enugu need? Anambra, what do they need? These are the things we should find out. You should have been able to have this in your on your fingertips, since you say you met with all the government multiple times. Or discussion. What is the thing you go there to do? We will have to interrogate that. But CM, like I said, give me a while and we'll go to this discussion.
But simply because we need to build out a federal government institution.
I get all of that garbage.
So there was
this remaining 5 billion.
No, it's not garbage. You say garbage. You shouldn't say garbage.
Yeah. No, I said no.
You said you get all that garbage.
I said I get all the gamutes.
Okay, gamutes.
You didn't hear me properly.
Okay.
I get all the arguments on the gamutes. But what I'm saying is, this 5 billion that came in that they've only paid you, we know it's not the money they're supposed to pay you. Your budget is way more than that, all right? How much have you now spent out of that 5 billion that came in? Minus the donor cost of 300,000.
Between then and I would say probably the last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks when we're preparing for the budget, I would say probably roughly about 700, 800 million, just around that.
Okay, so you still have about 4-point-something billion in the
Yes.
Okay.
But that's not the...
Okay. Now, what I get from what you are saying, I mean, you set up the bureaucracy, you've defined properly the institutional framework, you have stakeholders that you're already working with, you need more money, perhaps from the federal government of Nigeria and the state governments. What should be the expectations of the people of those southeastern region? What should be the benchmarks in terms of how, they assess you when you move away from bureaucracy and you begin to function? And what are your fears?
That's a good one. Essentially, and I'll just maybe just summarize our program of interventions and how we want to run the organization. The budget, I'm sure some may have seen, was barely, maybe they took 2-3 lines of a budget. I'm telling you that what people saw and called a budget, for Christ's sakes, having done 7 years as a budget and planning commissioner, 5 years as a top investment banker with AfriInvest, 4 years running the investment agency in Anambra State, without blemish, not one blemish, right? So
let other people judge.
yes. So when they pick out cleverly 1 or 2 things and show it, it's neither here nor there. Essentially, the budget that is approved by the board represents broadly 8 critical areas. Number 1 is we held a Vision 2050 forum when all our governors were there and they gave us feedback. You covered it live. Governor Soludo said, let's all work on a regional security integration program. We must come to that arrangement with some skin in the game. Otherwise, you look like you're just pulling figures from your head and say, all 5 governors, are we going to support you with this? No, you must say, Your Excellencies, you are the chief security officers, you're the political leadership. This is our own contribution. How can we work together to define this? That's one. So it's extremely important because our view is, how do we de-risk the Southeast for investment to come in? The second initiative is industrialization. The easiest thing, Rufai, for me to do as an MD of a development commission is to ensure my local government and the local government and all the other political stakeholders is covered by roads, 1 and 2 kilometer roads. Those are responsibilities of states and local governments. Our industrialization program it aggregates our road infrastructure budget and says there are 5 special economic zone projects in our region. Let's take the roads and open them up. You've been to the Southeast. Every 50, 60 meters, there's an industry, there's a factory, all running on diesel. Without infrastructure, without shared infrastructure, our view is, how do we take those roads and open and provide infrastructure to our special economic zone so that the investment can come in and create jobs. The third is, how do we address food security? Mind you, as we were preparing for our programs and defining them, every single one is mapped to Mr. President's manifesto. So we are drawing it, page 52, page this, and we are drawing the linkages. The third bit is agriculture. How do we address food security? But most importantly, the greatest hindrance in the Southeast is that 70% of your spend in agriculture is done on land clearing. Our view is 200, 300, 1,000 hectares. We have a target of 50,000 hectares to clear land and bring in agricultural mechanized investments in the hub and spoke model. The fourth area, which is very, very critical to us, is that this region has, I would say 75% of its population is under 35. We have founders there, we have bright people, we have innovation, but they need the right support and financing to catalyze them. So that's where we introduced the Southeast Venture Capital Program to invest, have a regional approach to providing capital so that these young kids don't have to leave the Southeast and run to Lagos looking for Rufai, looking for Oga Ruben to say, how can you give me $10,000 to start my startup? It should happen back home, and it should.
Okay, I don't know how I don't know how people have listened to it. I will hold myself, and we expect you guys to come make your contribution, because he is thinking that it's not just what we have seen published by newspapers that is what the budget is all about, but he has been given the opportunity to explain again what his budgeting and what will be his parameter and what will be his approach. He has not, for me, he has not been able to discredit himself properly. He has not been able to give us something tangible we can hold on. For I know that business, and not taking away his qualification, he has what it takes. But right now, I think he's being apolitical. And once you become that, you don't achieve anything. I have to say it up front, and that's my opinion. He's done, because once you begin to say, by the help of Mr. President, by the help of this government, no, you are now dabbling into the area of politics, and that will hinder even your progress or even your ability to succeed in what you have chosen to do. That is my opinion. But let me welcome CM. CM, you are welcome. It's good to have you here because you are one of the stakeholders in the East. You have heard what our brother have said and how he's planning to be able to develop the Southeast by coming for, you are in England, so he's coming for stakeholders meeting so that you people can now give him the reason why that is commissioned or how he should go about the things. You have heard a little bit because I have many other interviews that he granted, and people asked him some pertinent questions. What do you hear so far that you've been able to say that of the truth, these 3 hours that were waited for 53 years haven't come now? Are you satisfied with the beginning and the way the things are going?
KJ, thank you very much. Good evening. Am I coming out loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. So I can then deduce that whenever my connection is faulty, is because there are some whenever Dr. Damage's show is crowded with all manner of a virus, so it affects my well-quarantined. I have to thank God I have the field for now. My well-purified, quarantined, sterilized IT connection. Somehow, when I connect to New York or people from all over the world, the thing affects my own. But now it's just like this. So thank you very much. I hope it remains. Allow me to make my point. So thank you, KJ, for taking the initiative to host this particular one topic program. Is important, and I believe Ndibo worldwide will be keying in. If not now, they will go through what we say here. But I wish they will be all tuned in live so that they can make their contribution, either go to the chat and ask us questions or maybe come in and be part of the panel, which is even better. Now, today's issue is about Southeast Economic Development Commission. Yes, we have all waited for it. My own, I don't know, I've not, they only SEDC, they call it, Southeast Economic Development Commission. I can volunteer a definition. I will say Southeast, the present Southeast Economic Development Commission, headed by Mark Okoye Jr., or the MD, of which Mark Okoye Jr. is the MD. I can define it as the government of the people of Eastern region of old minus Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State, River State, and Bayelsa State. Whatever is left is now the Southeast Economic Development Commission. In a nutshell, the Southeast Economic Commission, let me put it in mathematical terms, or mathematically or equationatically, Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, equals ENDC, Eastern Nigeria Development Commission of Emayo Okpara, minus the government of the present Akwa Ibom State plus the government of the present Cross River State plus the government of the present River State plus the government of the present Bayelsa State. If you remove these four state governments from what you had as ENDC of Emayo Okpara, it gives you SEDC. So by way of footprint, people should now know where to focus their attention. So it's a welcome development. It's long awaited. That is all I could say by way of opening salvo, and then to tell people where we are. Now, because we are discussing it today, it's not about geography we are talking about. We all know that. And it's not about what it represents to Ndibo. We all know that. What we want to look at is, being the first time since 1970 we are having this type of development commission, people will say, of what vision will it be associated with? Of what mission as well will it be associated with? I didn't craft the charter or whatever that forms it, the founding instrument or the founding documents. But as a stakeholder, I can call, yes, I'm a stakeholder. I want the Southeast to be good. Just like I want other parts of Nigeria, because SEDC is what we have a WEDC for the western region and all those other geopolitical areas. They have their own. So I want it because it's like it's sort of a balance of competition. People should compete among themselves, each regional development. So why I'm interested in Southeast is that this is the government that first, it is partyless. Nobody can say it is this party that is controlling it. Why the SEDC is overseeing what will be beneficial to the 5 Southeast states, made up of 5 governors from 3 different political parties. That is to say, APGA for Anambra, Labour for Abia, then APC for Enugu, Ebonyi, and Imo State. So it is expected that SEDC should not be seen as an APC government or APGA government or Labour Party government. So let's get that clear. So the leader should be apolitical. And in that case, in operation, it should also mirror the same philosophy. Why I'm saying this is that most developmental projects in Nigeria, but this time we are talking of Southeast, so people should, I don't want people to come and to get some monkeys off my back before they come in. So what I'm trying to say is that most developmental projects in the Southeast in Igbo land are bedeviled by politics. The crudest type of politics. But I'm glad that maybe we are seeing signs. And I do not want the SEDC to take us back to, we've left, they say we've left Egypt long time. So we are headed to the promised land. Any attempt through thinking or through thought or action to take us back must be resisted and pointed out. So let me not go far, but let me now say, okay, what really do I want SEDC to do? Because that is why I'm coming. Enough of this introduction. SEDC, we look throughout the Southeast and think of not more than 1, 2, 3, 4. But to me, I have 3. It should not be short. It shouldn't be. It should be 3. But these 3 should not be pursued. Should not be pursued. What's they called? Simultaneously. No. We want the one that is most overriding among the 3 because of paucity of fund. They are all capital intensive. And this should not be something that a state government could do, in which anything that is a state government could do, it means that it will be bogged with politics. This party is in power. He started it, another party came in. It's no longer our vision, then we abandon it. That is politics. So SEDC should be clear, should be a one project commission at any point in time. But that one project will be like the game changer. So if I should volunteer some suggestion, I will say 1, because these are what Ndibo needs. Number 1, there's no, the seaport is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So I don't need to be, it will solve a lot of problems. The issue of Igbo dominating us somewhere, the issue of Ndibo leave our land. If you don't leave our land, we'll slaughter you. The issue of Ndibo, you shouldn't vote here. The issue of Ndibo, we make sure that we buy all of you and seize all your properties. All these things, Seaport will help. Even if not to wipe them, even if not to solve them completely, but it will help to attenuate that virus that is bringing all these things to us. It will help to reduce it. Seaport is important. Ndibo entrepreneurial, we know it. We know it. And we need it. By statistics, which I'm not the manufacturer, but former head, the director of National Inland Water, something like Land River Port. I've forgotten what they call the man, but he's from Anambra. He said, for every 100 shipload of container that arrives Nigeria, 65% of them ends up in the southeast. The rest 35% is between the rest of Nigeria and the seaport where it arrived. Of course, those ones, some of them will still go to some different parts of the country, still belonging to Ndibo. So it only makes sense that we need that. It will help to solve a lot of problems. I will come to that later. Number 2, we need industrialization, but the key to it, the way it's in Igbo land, is power supply. Is power supply. We need electricity in the southeast. Let southeast SEDC be synonymous with electricity. It doesn't matter whether it takes them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. All we know is that we've handed it over to them. They are the people to see it. They draw a plan and people will pay into it. Number 3, the way southeast is, because of the fact that we need to talk to each other, we need to scale up the GDP of the southeast, we need to develop the southeast, and even not just develop, to even prolong the life expectancy of the people of southeast. Yes, body no be wood. We need to prolong our life expectancy by what? Lessening the suffering of the people. What do I have in mind as my number 3 the number 3 project? Is to develop, which has been denied to Ndibo, the cheapest and the most efficient. See, listen to the words I'm using. The cheapest and the most efficient means of transportation ever discovered by man is the rail, not air. We've all got airport. We have airport in Ebonyi State. I don't know how many people flies in and out from Ebonyi State. We have airport in Imo State at Inowere. I don't know how many people flies in and out of it on a daily basis. We have the Chinua Achebe, newly built Chinua Achebe port in Anambra State. I don't know how many people flies in and out from there. Already, there's been one in Enugu since time immemorial. On Asoswane, on Egege, I don't know. And I understand Abia State government is building another one. I know airports are catalysts for industrialization and business growth. But let us do what they call competitive and comparative advantage. Rail is what we need now. It's urgent. That's what we need. It will help us to move around the southeast easily. If we want, we can also connect it to the national rail to help our people and to make it is cheap. Airport or using the airfare is for the rich people as far as Nigeria is concerned for now. But rail, because if there are availability of people using it, the rail fare will be cheaper. So it's much more economical. That's why I say it's the cheapest means of transportation ever discovered by man. It's not car because of petrol and maintenance. Rail is the thing to go. So within these three, if I'm to do what they call competitive and comparative advantage or opportunity cost, if I say power, electricity, which I said is number 2, yes, the Southeast is already a step ahead. As far as Nigeria power system is concerned, the Southeast is already a step ahead. Why I say it's a step ahead is for the fact that Abia State Governor, please, KJ, you are from Abia, you will correct me if I'm wrong. Or Dr. Rudolph used to say, correct me if I'm right. What I want to say is this. The last time there was when President Tinubu was somewhere in, I think was in the Middle East, either when he visited Turkey, there was a national grid collapse in Nigeria. National grid collapsed. Alex Otti, the flavor of the moment, addressed the people of Abia, said there are no cost for land, that Abia is no longer on national grid. That was like a joy, 1 million times. I'm not from Abia, but I'm happy. My father taught me when he was alive. That was the highest university I attended. I attended different universities, quite all right, many of them, but the most important one is the university of my late father. He said, my son, when you see somebody making progress and the person tells you that, oh, this is how progressive I am now, he said, rejoice more than the person, so that the one you are asking God in prayers will not be far in coming. The day Alex Otti said that, I felt I become an Abia citizen, an Abia indigene, automatically. It doesn't matter. Yes. I said yes. So what is in Abia? We now come down to Ezinifite. It's not a rocket science. So what I want the SDEC to do is, and let me add this also. You know, these people that's why they said God want to give wisdom. He gives them in small quantity. You know, it just goes to people that are not that are brief. Let me use the word, people that are brief, and then gives them the wisdom that he should have given to giants. Alex Otti went to the last summit of SEDC in Enugu. I think he suggested to them through the address that any state in the southeast that want to start a power generation and distribution, you should not go the pathway they've gone, because it took them long. They are just like they are the pioneer in the southeast. That all you need to do now, talk to Abia. It's like what we are taught in physics. You step up the transformer, you step it down. You want to carry electricity from one point to the other. You say you step it up to go a long distance. As you are nearing where you are going, you step it down. Do you see it? So he said what they should do is to talk to Abia State government. Then they tell you how much it will cost. They lay a pipe and see how they are going to step it up. It will not get to Enugu. then Enugu may be covered with time. It will be covered with 24-hour electricity. All what the people of living in Enugu wants is they have power 24 hours. If you tell them where is the power coming from, they say it's somewhere far away from Abia, but they will achieve their aim.
Can you hear me?
So, yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. Oseni Rufai asked a very important question, and you I don't know whether you are running away from that question or you don't want to get in there yet. The question he asks is, from all that you have now, how much have you spent? And the guy couldn't answer it. So what do you make of that situation? Because it's frightening that you
see, KJ, please note the question down for me. I should have noted the better. I would just note it down. I want to flow. Let me explain these 3 points. Then I will now tell you why. Where I stand, please.
Go ahead.
It's just 2 of us.
Yes,
now,
go ahead.
What I'm saying, that is for electricity. If SEDC should choose option 2, that is all they need to do. Sit down with the government of Abia State. Say, this electricity, we want it to cover the entire Southeast. How much? Governor Lexoti will say with Professor Batin Naji, who did it. Thank God he's from Enugu State. He will say the cost us so amount of money. But being a MIT professor of robotics, he knows what he did. He will say, if you want it extended from Abia to Enugu, this is how much it will cost, and this is how long it's gonna take. If you want it all the 5 states, all the remaining 4 states, this is how much it's gonna take. Now, it is now left for SEDC to source for fund to say, okay, if we make this if we make it a project that in the next 2 years, the whole of Southeast will be covered with 24-hour electricity, gradually, bit by bit, can we be able to fund it? When people are talking, because it's a one project something, that is what you will do. Because the more you give electricity, industries will start springing up. In fact, it will even help to prolong the life expectancy. I will come to the public health issue of power supply and health and well-being needs. We can write a thesis on that. That is a different thing. It's purely epidemiology. That is by the way. So if they want power, this is what I expect them to do, because the foundation has been laid in the Southeast. You don't reinvent the wheel. And Governor Lexoti, I'm not being original here. This was his vision, that any Southeast state that now wants it will liaise with them. They will know how to step it up over a long distance and then increase the capacity. That's what it takes. That is even what they call low-hanging fruit among all these 3. Now, but if they feel like Nigeria, that I don't know the budget of the South, but I will condemn what Southeast, the SEDC will do. They can also say, okay, this seaport, Abia State has started it. The location is somewhere in Okwa West. That is also important. How much will it cost to deliver this seaport in 2 years' time? That is what I want them to say. Because everything has to do with, now sit down and be convinced that this is what we want to deliver within the next 2 years, 24 months maximum. How much? How many $1 million or how many billion? I don't know. You sit down. Then, because it's for the people of Southeast, you make sure that you use the Sam Mbakwe formula, because the people of Imo State contributed money and built the airport. So you can go, if you are telling Igbo worldwide through World Igbo Congress, that Southeast is only for one thing. We are not interested in any project except one seaport. And we've been able to finish the planning and everything. It's going to cost us also amount of money. In 24 months from now, you have it. This is an opportunity. So no matter how substantial the money may be, but the fact that you've already seen the beginning and the end, people can say, okay, if within 24 months, I'm going to donate $1,000. You might say, every Igbo man in the diaspora, no matter your currency unit, we want 100 of it to start. If you're in the UK, £100. If you're a tax-paying person, in the US, $100. In the rest of EU, €100. Let's see how far it goes. Within 1 year, we total it and see how many billion. Then we can say, if you are in Africa, what do we use? We say, okay, in any part of Africa you may be, let's use what is the most stable currency? You might say the South African rand. You measure it against South African rand. Those in Nigeria don't contribute for now. You do it this way, that anybody in Nigeria, no, we don't need. We want people in the diaspora to fund this seaport. It's possible. It could be done. Then some people might say, this anything, because that is like what the Jews normally do. That is how they do their, they normally use it for census. If you want to know the number of people in a big city, you said you plan a project and said every person should pay so amount of money. By that time, they've known how many people that contributed. And when they want to tell you, they said, according to the contribution you made, you people are 50,000 people in that city. If you doubt it, you say, but this is how much you paid. So we give you according to that. They can do that type of thing in terms of funding. Now, the rail, let me talk to the rail before I now answer your question. The rail is also important because we've been interconnected. The 5 state capitals in the southeast, starting from Abakaliki, it will run from Abakaliki to Enugu. From Enugu, it goes down to Awka, another state capital. So you've connected the Ebonyi state, Abakaliki capital. From Ebonyi state, you connected Enugu, Enugu state capital. From Enugu, you've connected Awka, the Anambra state capital. Now, from Awka, you have to move down to Onitsha because of the Onitsha is a commercial city. It's the business emporium of the southeast. So you have to connect to Onitsha. Then from Onitsha, you move down to Nnewi. Nnewi is the industrial heartland for Nandi. It contains more industry than any other Igbo city or Igbo town. Heavy industries are there, like Inosin, and then the one that manufacture cable, Kutix PLC, the one that, because they say the cable now, people building houses in Nigeria will tell you that the cable import from China is inferior to the one manufactured in Nnewi. Yes, Ndi will build houses, my brother did, and what I'm saying, people can come up and then challenge me, particularly if you're from Nnewi, or you can buttress what I'm saying. So you connect in Nnewi because of what Nnewi represents with rail. Then you now, at least for Innocent that is there, so that we can have people, rail is part of industrial, what is it called? Industrial framework that, you have any industrial conurbation must have a rail connection. Then you from Nnewi, you now move to Owerri, another capital city for Imo State. From Owerri, you move to Aba. Aba represents what Onitsha represents, only that Aba is to the south, while Onitsha is to the western part of Igbo land. Yes, south.
Yes.
Then from one moment, let me not lose. Then from Aba, you move to Umuahia. That is the state capital of Abia state capital. Then you now make a loop to connect back to Abakaliki. You may pass through Afibo and then connect back to Abakaliki. That is the rail I'm talking. At least the first phase. This is what we need. 5 state capitals and 3 commercial centers. Nnewi, Onitsha, and the Aba. Then let me have your question, KJ, before KJ.
Yeah, my question would be this: are you not now? We have seen what the young man is lining up for, what his development plans are. Do you see anything that seems to represent what you have been saying so far?
No, not at all. Not at all. You see, it's like same old. That's why I say I cleared my opening sentence or opening paragraph. If you may say so. I said it should be the government of the southeast, in which you have to identify 1 or 2. I mean, identify 3, but you pick one. What the young man, let me not digress too much, what the young man has been doing, going around, I've read the address he presented, I've listened to this interview, this particular one with Ruben and the other lady. All he's trying, he just sounded like a typical Nigerian state governor and a politician. All these things, because when you don't know when you don't know your way, every way will lead you to your house. That is what he's trying to do. If you have been coming, say, look, we identify 3 projects, like I did now, I will tell people, say, but do we go for rail? Do we go for power supply? Or do we go for building a seaport? Each one has got its own advantages and disadvantages. Then you now take the one that is least. You might say, let's go for power because we've done the groundwork and it's working. It's just a question of, increasing the capacity. You might say that, or you might say, no, the funding we are going to get for seaport is as good as anything and it will be in a short-term delivery. And this is what I'm doing with it. Or the third one, rail. So people will not take you serious. But this idea that from the breakdown, they've always spend money on entertainment. I'm going to donor. There's a way to do it. They put a road. When I hear road, I shudder. I shake my head. Alex Ot is doing road. Soludo is copying the road. Alex Ot is doing. The man in Enugu is copying. Where? Look, Hope who's on the man that they are talking. Hope is even doing a much more better road from Akokwa to Olu, from Olu to Owerri to Okigwe. I mean,
okay, CM, let's make it more interactive. Now, the question being, he was talking about security, building a security. Is that part of what Eastern Development Commission should be doing? Should they be dabbling into security? What has he got? So help us divide the work for this young man, just in case any of his team members are watching. We don't need to go to Harvard to get stakeholders to tell us how to develop Southeast. Okay, we don't need all that nonsense they used to say in Nigeria. It is neither here nor there. Don't tell us nonsense. Okay. When the civil war started, where did the people of Southeast go to get military tactics that gave them how to make those things? People who are living there with you know what they want. They can go about it. Don't tell us you want to go around the world holding stakeholders meeting all around the world. What are the stakeholders going to do for you? We know Igbos and Igbo businessmen around the world who know their honors. If they are people you want to consult, it's a different thing. Don't waste government money or the money that the governors are putting together and by saying you are taking it and going to look for stakeholders. There are many things you should do. It's not for you to do road. It's not for you to do become a stakeholder in security. Is that what the South is lacking? Don't all of us know that the insecurity in the South is caused by government? Is there anybody who doesn't know that? Just yesterday, Asari Dokubo made a new video saying that he is in action in the east in Imo State looking for Gentle the Yahoo or whatever they call him. So, do we need to go far to realize the people who are destabilizing the South? Is that what you should spend our money doing? That is not that's not what the South East need. Anyway, so I'm asking you the question I'm asking you. I don't want to carry it away by the question I'm asking you is, should that be part of the function of the Southeast Development Commission? Should that be part of their
for the benefit of people listening to us? The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, like we all know, the primary purpose of government is security of life and property. Because we operate at the federal, so it will be on Tinubu's table, security of life and property. It does not matter the agency, like the police or the army or the navy or the DSS or whatever that is helping him to coordinate that function. And because of the type of government we run, we have a federating unit called states. Tinubu will now say, you are the governor in the state, you are acting, you are the chief security officer in your state. So help to maintain the security of life and property in your state. Across the 36 states of the federation, Abuja is that of the presidency. I think Wike said he handed it over to the minister. So in all this, okay, from the state, they said, okay, the chairman of the local government, if he's part of the federating state. So in all this, you can never hear Southeast, any economic development commission. The word is Southeast Economic Development. So dabbling into security is like you come to say, well, where is your office? Where is your police? Which police do you control? The governors are even crying that they are called the chief security officers of their state, but they do not have control over the police. They are asking for state police. So you, the Southeast Economic Development Commission, you are asking for how are you going to maintain security if you do not have control over the cohesive institution? So to me, that's why I'm saying if you do not know where you are going, every road will lead to your destination. That's
Very
to me.
true.
Let me put it in a simple sentence that somebody will just know where I stand. That one is a sheer waste of money. They should never dabble into it. It's a sheer waste of money. Or if I want to be brutal, that is a way to siphon money. Let me be also blunt. We don't need. It's not done. You don't go and take over the job of a state governor. It's not done. Please, security, remove your hand from there. If they give us state security, we are covered. Then the state will say local government and vigilante. So what are you now going to pretend? Who is the Southeast SEDCMD to call on the police? The police won't listen to you. The police will tell you as CM that come back to his village and felt that I want to organize one type of social gathering and I needed security. I tell police, please let me pay you for come and cover the thing. You are not in the equation. You are not there. It's the governor that can speak to IG of police or commissioner of police. They listen. So I don't know. You see, they are misinformed. They are confused. That's why until you get your agenda right, you don't know where you are going. Thank you.
Thank you, CM. You have done a lot of talking, and of course, anybody who wants to hear will hear. Our purpose here is to draw the attention of those who are in the Southeast development. Okay, those who are the Southeast development agenda or who are running it to know that it is not another seminar jamboree of organizing. One of the things taken as credit is organizing a economic summit in Enugu. That is not what we are looking for. Nigeria has been organizing economic summit since I was born. Until today, we are not yet developed. Not even as much as countries in Africa. Not talk of Europe. So let's not continue on this waste of manpower and money. But let's welcome Mr. Okpara, Mazi Okpara. You are welcome. Yeah, Mazi Okpara, welcome. Okay, you are frozen.
I think he's muted. He didn't know.
Can you?
Okay.
No, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, KJ and CM. Good afternoon from Beverly Hills, California.
Wow, you enjoy yourself, Beverly Hills. Help me greet.
It snowed today. There was snow in the UK today, in the morning and the afternoon. Yes.
You see, I'm outside here with my T-shirt. It's almost plus 60 Celsius here.
Wow. I mean, help us greet Eddie Murphy if he's here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I listened to what you. I listened to the clip you played. You know, this young man, Okoye, he blocked me on X few months ago when I was asking him some questions about, the programs of this SEDC or what was it called?
Yes.
And he was unable to explain. And when I persisted, he blocked me. He called me all kind of names. But I'm very happy that at least Rufai said, asked him the same question. What can you tell us how much you have spent since the commission was established? And he was only drinking water. He look at that was the body language was like, why should you come to this question? Why should you ask me this question? And you see somebody, I think, invited him, gave him some time to come. You're supposed to be prepared. At least write something down, because as a smart person, I look at him as a smart person. He should have come with at least some tangible. Won't be long here. My own lesson is that we don't need all these commissions. Honestly, we don't need it. Look at, I think the first commission was Northeast Commission. What have they achieved with that? Instead of, like, it's just really with corruption. The same thing with NDC or ND and Niger Data Commission, something. It's the same corruption that these people are creating everywhere. We have state governors that are responsible for all these things that CJ, has been explaining here. We don't need another body to give us all these amenities. Why we have state governors? It's kind of, duplicating matters, issues. We don't need this thing. As CJ said, I'll tell the CM, they will come, another government will come, they will change their ideas and their programs, because these people, they only, kind of what the president says. If another president comes tomorrow, they will still tell you what this president is talking about. Honestly, this is a waste of time, waste of resources, with what they call geopolitical. So need this is just to put some money into some people's pocket. Nothing is coming out of this commission. I don't believe in this commission, and mark it today. In the next 4 years, we'll be talking the same thing. They are not responsible for these things. We have governors who are elected, so-called elected by the people. They're supposed to do these things, give us amenities, give us railway, give us electricity, give us water, everything, not creating another group that would be just there to take their own cuts and get away with the whole thing. My friend, where you live today in America, do you have all this kind of, all the commissions? Do we have them? We have governors who are responsible, who are voted to develop their states. CM, where you live, do you have these commissions? Why can't we, as Black people, do things like other people are doing? Why should we create all these kind of groups that are just to siphon public money, and they will not give you anything? For example, look at Northeast. What has Northeast Development Commission given to Northeastern people? What of Niger Data Guinea Commission? All these people are just creating, groups that just there to put their hand in Kukuja, impoverish our people more, and nothing is. Look at these people. Look at this man was telling you he's depending on diaspora donations. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that I'm going to take my money to put in their hands? CM, if these people come and ask and tell you or ask you to bring your £50,000, are you going to give it to them?
And Mr. Okpara, I promise myself that because of this kind of people, we in the diaspora, I want to hold a program for all of us. So we will put into perspective what we think they should be doing. Just in case they refuse to hear this one. It will be the diaspora way of seeing how the South should be looking. Look, I have a video here I've not played of him, President Tinubu, being the only who have done this. You begin to wonder. Now, everything you say, if no, it's President Tinubu, if you say, what are you saying? Are you a politician? So is it a political party position, or is a normal position for people who want development in the Southeast? We have cried. If you go to my village, Uzuakoli, you see the scars of the Civil War. What this team this commission is setting up for me is to go to Uzuakoli, look for the women teachers college. There's a women teachers college meant for only women, where women used to be trained as teachers. Reconstruct it if necessary. Bring it back to life. Reactivate the economic situation that was before the Civil War. If you don't know what to do, but not for you to go and hold a meeting
honestly, don't need these people. We have state governors, we have local government chairman, in a place, a civic society where things work. What you are saying now belongs to the county where this something is established or built. What these people should have done is make sure that the money that the state governors get, they utilize it. The money that goes to the local government chairman or county chairman, that they utilize it. We don't need to replicate all these people. This is making government very big. We have to make government very, very, very small, very little. Because the more you make government very big, the more you have corruption everywhere. This group, now you have all the whole geopoliticals and they have their own commission. It's a way of ripping off, siphoning public money. This 5 billion naira he's talking about, they has received. You call him next week, he will never give account of how the money is spent. He couldn't even give account how the little one that he said that was given to them. How much more? Oh, please. Look, we at this age.
Okay, so now I ask you people here, and I will take the place of Boom Boom Ray at this point. So you can see, can you now agree with some of these critics that the Southeast are the people holding their own development? Is that can we
see
that
KJ,
can we say that
I
we're
want
the one
to
holding our own development?
KJ, I will say to some extent there may be reason in it, but let me say this before I forget where Mazio Bara started. Mazio Bara, first of all, welcome. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad at least I know there are some perspectives you might bring in which I may not be aware of. Given your maybe the way I don't want to just giving what you know and then what you must have seen in life. Now the thing is this, I want us to let's have an amity, or let me bring in something else as a consensus I've had people say. Why people have been saying, why can't the Southeast governors work together? What is this international airport that they can't give us? If the federal government cannot build the international airport, why can't the Southeast governors build at least one, contribute and build one? That of Enugu. I had this when Hadi Sirika was the Minister for Aviation under Buhari. They shut it down. They want to do it, all these things. People complained. Now people will say we don't have a seaport. Oh, it's capital intensive. But why can't the Southeast governors come together and build this seaport? Definitely seaport won't be in Ebonyi because it's not close to the sea. It cannot be in Enugu for the same reason. Probably Imo and Abia are best suited. But why can't we find somewhere? That was when I heard about Ikedio Hakim has even presented a paper one time that Osakwa area in Ihiala is even having a 16 nautical miles to the sea, while that of Tinkan Island is 60. So, and they said that during the First Republic, when Zik was the premier of Eastern, that's when they had this as part of, after Lagos, they developed one there, but civil war, threw everything off board. So I started hearing this. They say, but why can't the Southeast governors come together? You see, we've agreed that they need to come together to provide at least one major infrastructure or two. Now, if they cannot come together, and by providence, we now have the equivalent of Eastern Nigeria Development Commission. That is why I can tell you the rising detail, the rationale for this SEDC. I agree with it. But it is not just agree that it should come or we should have it. But what is he going to do? That is the issue. And that is the perspective I want us to bring in. Because what the young man, Mark Okoye, is discussing, a security, I've knocked that one off. Because in the constitution, you are not even recognized as a federating unit as to take care of security of any space. You can't call any police officer in your distance to go and do this. No, that is for governors. So security of life and property is not it does not concern the Southeast economic development. In fact, you're mediocre. You don't even know what to do there. Purely economic. What should be there? What they should do is what 2 or 3 main key infrastructure If it's a book, they say it's a seminar research from where other researchers can take out, can take on from. Or you wrote a seminar book that others can now reference and use it to develop further theories. So in this case, SEDC should be thinking of one. I gave them 1, 2, 3, and these are crucial. Power to the Southeast is crucial. Yes, state governors can do it. But I know it took Abia State how many years? They start about 24 years before it came to fruition due to politics. Politics of this politician, this, and that. Now, Alex Otti have given them a formula. Why not key into this within a year and 6 months? We should have power. Let that be what they achieved. My beef, if I may say, I disagree with them. When you want to put your hand into so many things, you can't achieve anything. And in each one, you're a mediocre, you're not an expert in it. Take one thing, if it's seaport, I know it's capital intensive. Take it and then say SEDC will only exist for seaport. Nothing more, nothing less. People will now say, okay, so we now know we now know the ass to kick. The corruption there cannot be well pronounced. I mean, if at all there may be, because people now know that we are building a seaport. And when you want to put it out, you say you've drawn the plan. It will take 2 years. If we start it today with this money, guaranteed, we will deliver it. That is the politics, P2B. That's the way people plays politics. He said, P2B said, I'm not against borrowing. But if you want to borrow to buy a center table in your room, in your sitting room, you will tell people this center table will cost 100 naira. The moment you borrow the 100 naira, you buy the center table. Whoever comes, all the money goes there. So people will see what you use it for. But this is the other belly. What Nigerians are not, most of our administrators or people that say they are leaders, they are not good at. They will tell you and then do be. But if they can, let me say this. It's not I'm throwing a challenge. That's SEDC. I can head it. And I will deliver this. Yes, I'm saying it. Nobody will hear me. I can head that SEDC. I can replace Mark Okoye. I can replace him. And I will tell Ndibo, say, look, this is what we are going to do. These 3 things, I will now study them in details. Look at it critically and say, I'm going to pursue one. I'm not looking left or right until I deliver it. Whether one house is burning somewhere or one erosion is cutting one road or one hamata, it doesn't bother me. All I want is this seaport at Okwa West. This is the amount it will cost. This is how I'm going to get the fund. And I want it delivered within 24 months. Judge me on that. Don't judge me on anything. That is just what I want.
Thank you, sir.
I will deliver that.
That is a direct message to those who are in Southeast Development Commission. If you want diaspora to buy in, the buy-in of diaspora people, tell us what's the major project. Is it a rare project that will connect the 5 eastern states to the major towns where there's food you are doing? And they don't come with that myopic mind to say, when will it finish? If it finish in 20 years, that's okay. The journey of 1,000 miles begins by 1 step. It's not for you, Mr. Okoye, to say, when will that come to an end? No, we're not looking for small much-room housing or projects. We're looking for something that will bring a turnaround. That's one. So if you bring a well-laid out plan to the people in diaspora, many people will be ready to go. Why don't you make it, a public partner, private partner, or whatever you call it, BPE sort of, okay, so that people can now, if you are saying this is what you have, give a good distance. There are many, Southeast people who are ready to, put their money and resources, provided it has an international, modus of operation, But don't tell us that you are. In fact, my biggest problem, I don't even want to go there, is the fact that the man can't even account for the small one that they're giving to him. He's finding it difficult to give us an explanation, and just drinking water. Is that the reason why okay? So I don't go too far. Look, this guy is brilliant.
The problem is he never expected, like Mazopara said, or two, I think he said it. He wasn't expecting, and somebody should ask him a question that is technical or related, something like this, focused on what he should be doing. So he felt that he's coming to field a political question, whereby they know they are this thing. how do they say it? I can assure you, you know, the
Yeah.
typical Nigerian thing. I can assure you with
this man. Hold on, TM.
You know?
This young man is very brilliant. So it's not as if. Let me play one of his videos to show you how far this guy. I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, when I mean good guy, I'm not saying he's good because he knows how to maintain money, but because he's well educated.
My name is Mark Okoye, and I currently serve as the Commissioner for Budget and Planning in Anambra State. Anambra is only 60 kilometers away from this location. It's a pleasure to be here, so thank you to the organizers and thank you to the audience for having us. One president, one vice president, 109 senators, 360 Federal House of Rep members, 72 governors and deputy governors, 1,152 State House of Assembly members, and 1,548 local government chairmen and deputies. A total of 3,243 positions up for elections every 4 years. Of this amount, you and I, young people under 35, account for only less than 5%. But how surprising is it? Because we, as a generation below 35, account for 65% of Nigeria's population. So clearly there's an imbalance, there's an injustice, there's a disconnect. We can't have our grandparents formulating and implementing policies on behalf of us and our unborn children. But it's quite interesting because Nigeria is supposed to be the giant of Africa. We're supposed to set those trends that should act as a wave of transformation on the African continent. But we have the likes of Rwanda, who have a youth-inclusive government, and over the last 5 years have become the hub for technology and innovation on the continent. 4 hours away from Enugu International Airport, we have Ethiopia, which is breaking boundaries in gender equality in governance and has zoned 50% of its cabinet to women. And we are here dealing with 5%. So I'm here to talk to you all about how we can find those opportunities, but more importantly, prepare for those opportunities in governance when they do come. I joined government at 25. I'm 32 today. I've held 7 positions in 6.5 years in government. So I'd like to start with 3 points. The first of which is the clarity of purpose. Most of you harboring thoughts and interests of government, you have to define it. You have to understand why you want to be in government. You have to understand what it is you want out of service. Because that understanding is what will support you when the going gets tough. 9 years ago, I was an investment banker in Lagos, making good money, advising the top corporates, flying around the world. I enjoyed myself. I was 23 and I was already a manager. I had an interest in government, but reading the newspapers, following the politics, watching news, and what have you. But this one day, we got a project to advise a state government in Niger Delta to raise some money. And it gave me insight into how government works. I spent 3 months in that state. And after that, I came up with 2 simple conclusions on why government does not work. 1, a good to bad people ratio. From my view, it was 10% to 90%. You have 90% of the people thinking about their pockets, thinking about their own interests. So if we all believe and understand the concept of garbage in, garbage out, why should you expect a different result? Then the remainder 10%, they have a capacity problem, they're poorly educated, they're poorly paid, they're unexposed, they're unenlightened. So what sort of results do you expect from them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that brilliancy and intellectual capacity is not the problem here. He's a very successful young man at his age.
Yeah.
But my challenge now is that he's dabbling too much into politics. And now he begins to sound like the old people we know. Remember, Yahya Bello was one of the brilliant minds that we thought when he goes into government, Kogi State would have been, conference state would have been the conference state where people go to see, the conference between Niger and Benue. But today, you can see that Kogi State have not only went backwards, it has become nothing to, no capacity. But not because it's not educated, not because it doesn't know what to do, but because when they get there, something just happens. Maybe these people are just wicked people that they don't like anything good. So their wickedness don't allow them to do good for the Nigerian people. I don't know what to say. I mean, that's my opinion. But Opera, listen to this young man. What do you say?
AJ, he spoke very well. I've told you this guy has blocked me. He spoke very well, very eloquently. Just like Soludo and others. They come to this kind of symposium or conference. They will blow all the whole grammar. They will brag how successful they are, how he made money. I don't like when somebody comes on something like this and start telling you he made money. Can he account for those money he made now? If in a country that follows the rule of law, But notwithstanding, what I'm trying to tell you guys that I am not against anything that could, develop Ali Igbo. I will be part of them if there is any contribution. But my own problem is that this is, too much of government, big government. Because let me equate this developmental, or let's say Southeast development, as other ministries in Nigeria. They get their budget every year, no matter how big or small. Yet you will see nothing. Minister of Health is there, Minister of Works, all the whole ministries. Tell me, what are they doing with the money they are giving to them every year? This is exactly what is going to happen with this commission, because we have now 6 geopolitical zone commission, all of them now. What this is creating another expanding more corruption in the society. You have elected governors. You have so-called elected governors. And why shouldn't we concentrate on them? Because they are responsible for all this that these people are going to do also. Is duplicating things. For example, my question is, under whom was this guy the commissioner, finance commissioner? Under which governor? I think under Obiano, right?
I think, no, I think he was. I think he should be under Obiano. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's not. It wasn't P2B. I think it's Obiano.
No, under Obiano. And today we know what Obiano, what the EFCC is accusing Obiano of. We know after Obiano finishes second term, we all saw what happened. In fact, he ran away the same night he handed over to Soludo. He ran away, and today we know where he lives. So when these people come, here and start telling us, speaking grammar, because they are well educated, they are privileged to be in best universities around the world, let us not be carried away. These people are the same. They will come here, they will blow grammar, and nothing will happen. My own opinion is that let's stop creating, creating all these kind of groups, creating all this kind of commission, and expect something from them. They're not going to give you anything. Tell me look at Niger Delta Commission. Development Commission. Look at the kind of billions of naira that was spent on this commission. What has that commission given to Niger Delta people? Almost zero. It's only, it's only corruption upon corruption. Last time you saw, short, what is that? Off your mic, off your mic, off your mic. These people are not serious. They are not serious, honestly. They are trying to put hand into the kukuja, and that's all they are about, after. Let the Igbo governors, let them come together. So they are not together. They are antagonistic to each other. They don't even talk to each other. Let them come together, come down to their high horses. Know that it's about Igbo people now. It's not about other people. It's about Igbo land. Let them come together, meet as brothers and sisters, and create a roadmap for how to develop our Igbo. Not these people. These people, for example, even in this commission, you have non-Igbos in that commission. You have non-Igbos in this commission. How is it going to happen? And whatever they do, they'll take it to Abuja for signing, for approval. How is it going to work? Let the governors do this, and we are going to behind them. And lastly, the CM is talking about international airports. The Nigeria we have today, I think I was watching under Stella Odua. When Stella Odua wanted to do, at least, improve Enugu Airport, make it upgraded, we saw what happened. We saw how she was bounced, how she was, humiliated, how she was alleged of kind of every corruption in this world, and because that lady wanted to make it at least upgraded, nothing happened. Obiano built a very small but nice airport. He wanted it to become international airport. He was denied the license. Anambra Airport is bigger than Port Harcourt Airport. Why is Port Harcourt an international airport whereby Air France, Lufthansa is landing on that airport, whereas Enugu Airport, Anambra Airport, Imo Airport, not all these big planes or international cannot land there? What is the reason? So even though they build all these things, who is going to approve it? Who is going to make it international airport? Or who is we? Who? Look at our people. Do we know what we are talking about here? Because do it or do it not, they will still need approval from Abuja. Let us first get political power. If you get political power, these things are very easy to do. Let us get political power. Let us see if we can. In fact, if I were OP or anybody, I would be talking about restructuring Nigeria, whereby every geopolitical zone will be on their own, like quasi-federation, like in England, where you live, where Scotland is very free to do what they want to do in their parliament. Northern Ireland, Wales, England. Let us have quasi-sovereign country in a country so that we can decide our future. As long as we are under Abuja, nobody can approve that kind of thing. In fact, even let's say today, if you get a license to build a seaport, who is going to approve it? Where are you going to get the money to, at least you need some federal government, federal assistance, federal loan. Which federal government is going to give you some money to do that? Let us be honest with ourselves. Where we find ourselves is a very, very difficult place. And until we get people who want to work in synergy, who want to be, it's all about Igbo land, like my brother did, it's all about Igbo land. Let us see. Otherwise, all these people, look at them. This one is in a Labour. This one is in APC, APGA. All of them, they are going their separate way. They can't even meet. They can't even shake hands. So I am of the opinion that this is a waste of time. This is, okay, CM, where is this people going to get the money, the fund? Is it not for the federal government? Thank you.
The whole Mazi Okpara, I listened to you carefully. It sounds contradictory. You contradict yourself somehow. When you say who will give you approval, on one hand, you are saying why can't the Southeast governors come together? Let's say there is no SEDC, and the Southeast governors came together to build one of these things we are talking of. It will still boil down to who will give them approval. So it does not. If you are talking of giving approval, then you can stand on it that you are talking of giving approval and not who builds it. Whether it's SEDC that builds the seaport, they didn't give approval. It's all the Southeast governors contribute money and build it. It's still that same approval they deny the SEDC. Will also be denied by the one built by this. So what I'm saying is this: let us use, because I gave 3 options. Now, let me even choose an option based on the fears some people may express, because I know people that are still people out there like you expressing this fear. Abia State today is not on national grid. That's a fact said by Alex Oti. 36 states in the country. Abia is not on national grid. They generate their own power. Who did it? Who made it possible? Professor Bat Naji, Geometrics Power Plant at Yaba from Enugu State. Alex Oti went to SEDC conference and told the Southeast governors, you don't need to start from the scratch like I did in Abia, like we did in Abia. All you need to do, we talk, we lay a pipe or something to increase the capacity, it will come to you 24 hours. So if today, what is the name? Enugu State governor decide to liaise with Abia governor, and all of a sudden there is money in the budget and they're doing it. Does he still need approval from Abuja? Of course, he doesn't need approval. But meanwhile, hold on. But meanwhile, Enugu State is having 24 hours electricity. It doesn't need approval from Abuja. You can generate now. Abuja doesn't need to approve anything anymore, because Abia is out of the national grid. Ordinarily, if it were in the past, Abia will connect to national grid so that the people in Bauchi, Sokoto, any part of Nigeria can use the power generated in Abia State. It's no longer like that. Now, why can't SEDC? That's when I gave my options. I made analysis. I said there's what they call low-hanging fruit. Part of that low-hanging fruit is not just the money to do it if it's cheaper, or maybe the system might be simpler, but also this approval you are talking of. Abia is 24 hours. Abia is no longer on national grid. Government cannot come tomorrow and say federal government to stop it. So politics does not get to that. Irrespective of whether P2B is president or whether Tinubu is president, Abia is not on national grid. That's why he went to Enugu to tell them, this is what you people should do. It's like you now, that okay, Abia extended the power supply to a town. It's called, I think it's Eche. You must have heard about it, KJ, in River State. They felt they can give them light. It wasn't federal government that approved for Abia to do it, as long as they are going to pay the tariff. So if Abia can give Enugu light, what they do, why can't SEDC copy it? So that within 2 years, we might say we are not doing it, depending on how much every state can volunteer. So I want to remove that aspect of approval. So there's a project that does not require federal government approval.
CM, please. Power. If you look at why it is not possible for any state to remove itself from national grid, it was debated, it was approved at the Senate. It was not unilateral action. It was debated for a very long time. It was approved, and I think it was even Buhari that signed it into law. So without this being debated and passed in the Senate and the House, this man wouldn't have, got the power to remove Abia from national grid. That's what I'm telling you. This political power. I did not contradict myself. I told you this, but I told you that what can make this thing work in Igbo land is when we are really federate unit, when the true federalism is working in Nigeria, whereby we become like kind of confederation, a quasi state, statehood, whereby we can decide something on our own. I will never condemn myself.
Okay. Let me ask you direct question, Mazi Okpara. What Alex Oti went to Enugu to tell Southeast governors and during the SEDC something. Is it not possible? Have they tried it and didn't work?
No, excuse me, it is possible. I'm telling you it is possible because now every state can disconnect from national grid and plug somewhere. That is why this OT had the gut or the board to go to anyone and say, we can do this together. But before it was not possible, before it was approved.
So exactly, good. So because it has opened the opportunity, and that is why, let's say 4, 5 years, 10 years ago, we want to, so that we are moving forward. So you can agree with me that if SEDC can key into this, because this is the easiest thing they could do. Because remember, KJ introduced the video at the beginning, in which this guy was all over the place answering 5 questions. It's like they are having so many things to grapple with. So this one, that's why I recommended three projects. But from what the look of things, from what we are saying here, I favor that of power. Let that of power, because Alex Otti has even told them. So why can't they do it? It doesn't require administrative approval from federal government. That is what they should do. And if only because of that, if there is then the reason for the establishment of SEDC is justified. If only because of that, let them accomplish that. I will be proud of them that they came in, see what is happening in Abia, reticulate, sort of made it possible that the rest of the first Southeast states are having it within a year and 6 months, 18 months. Thank you.
Exhibitors from Nigeria, sponsor of this year's edition of the fair, is the Southeast Development Commission. And I sat down here on Sunday to have a conversation on how much the SEDC is doing to support the new agenda of a development commission for Southeast Nigeria, the ambition for $1 trillion Nigerian dollar. And the CEO told me that the region could contribute at least a quarter of that in the very near future. Let's listen to that conversation.
I think it's important to give credit to who credit is due. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his wisdom, in his own economic agenda, came up with the plan to create regional development commissions for every region in Nigeria. So today, prior to him, we had NDDC and Northeast Development Commission. But now, after him 2 years in, we have 5 more regional development commissions, one for the Southwest, Southeast, North Central, South, and also Northwest, right? So for us, the Southeast, and you must understand this, the sentimental view when it comes to this development commission. It traces its origins back to 1970, right? When we continue to advocate for it. But in that time, there's been 5 presidents, democratically elected presidents, 6 military administrators, heads of states. It was never done. This was the first time it was given. So all of that makes it quite emotional to let us know as a region that we're not trying to play games with this. We take this as a very serious opportunity and one that
Yeah. Hold on. Let's try to make it, My next question to you guys is, have the establishment of the Southeast Development Commission now made the Eastern people more patriotic, and has it made us more patriotic and more inclusive in the government? What is the meaning of that thing he was saying there? And then is it that the wisdom of is it by the wisdom of Tinubu that is, because last administration they reading past the 3rd stage, it's just that Buhari didn't sign it. So, and it's not the first time it's been in the Senate for more than 10 years now. So is it his wisdom, and has this singular action made the Southeast to be more acceptable to APC?
Yeah, KJ, that's where I'm coming. I'm trying to, pour my opinion that this is a political gimmick. This is a political commission. Any president that comes up tomorrow might or could, either scrap it or just forget about it, and money will not come there. This is a political gimmick. My own opinion is that we have elected governors, no matter how we have to call them elected governors. Instead, this is duplication of governance, of responsibilities. Why putting money here and there? Why not concentrate money on one place? I have asked the CM here, how are they going to be funded? Who is going to fund all this commission? Because we have now 6 geopolitical zone commission. How are they getting their fund? Are they going to also to depend on governors or on individual donors? I want to know, please, if you have any question, any answer, I want to be cleared of. Who is going to fund these people? Thank you.
Thank you so much. CM, do you have an answer to that? Who is going to fund this movement?
Well, the thing is, I get to that because there's a question you threw to both of us. Southeast Economic Commission came into being as a result of Northeast Economic Development Commission. Why? Because when Boko Haram was ravaging the Northeast, they said they should be able to rebuild the Northeast. That was under Buhari. They should rebuild the Northeast. Look at how many states. In those days, it used to be Borno, Yobe, and I think Adama was some part of Adama. Well, later they said there was a time how many local government was lost to Boko Haram. Nothing. In fact, it was so severe. Now they said they should make a special commission to look after that a war-torn area. People now said, so Nigeria felt that after the civil war of 1970, 67 to 70, nothing was done to the Southeast. That is unfair. Mind you, Nigeria is not fully at war. It's just that Boko Haram is attacking. So this idea of Southeast said we should have our own development commission to be able to do this. And trust, because of the merit of the case of Southeast, based on logic. In Nigeria, they don't accept defeat. They say, hey, let them cuckoo give it to every geopolitical zone. People now said, are you giving to South-South with NDDC? They said that they have to dissolve. There's what they call there was a commission, because they had Ministry of Niger Delta before. Akpabio used to be the minister. So they said, are you going, so if you now give it to every other zone, instead of them to say, look, Southeast deserve this, really. They should have been the pioneer before Northeast. You shouldn't be giving it to Southwest. There's no war that devastated Southwest. You shouldn't give it to South-South. There's no war that devastated South-South. Even the Middle Belt, no war devastated them. The death of Northeast, people agreed Boko Haram tormented them. Then what of Southeast? Given their backlog of infrastructure deficit. Now, they now decide to put it in these 6 geopolitical zones and then dissolve Ministry of Niger Delta. They removed it. See, the funding will come from the central government. It's a rebuild of an area. It should have been a case of something like what they have, what do they call this funding? For environmental, is it what they call environmental intervention fund or something? Like if an area happened to suffer environmental, just like a earthquake or maybe, I think there's a way they put it. The federal government can dip hand in it and help to ameliorate it, because something that is peculiar to that area because of one environmental disadvantage they have or something. I've forgotten what they call that, the rate term. So, in Nigeria, rather than leave it that way, but everybody want to benefit, they said, no, let them do it to everybody. Now they've done it that way, they are going to bring the money. What matters to me is whether you are giving 1 kobo from federal government and you mismanage it, and somewhere you get 300 trillion from somewhere else to that same person, you will still mismanage it. But if you can manage 1 kobo, whether given to you by your father, it does not matter if somebody from World Bank give you trillion, because that same spirit of how to manage is already in you. So the idea that maybe who will sponsor them already, who will fund them already, from Mark Okoye said, Southeast Governors and Enugu has pledged to bring 5 billion naira from their budget money each. So making 25 billion added to 140, that is now 165 billion totaling. That's what for this year's budget. So they are contributing 5 billion, the Southeast governors. Just like we are saying, because in the past we always say lament, even here, that why can't the Southeast governors come together? It's not just come together sitting in a room around the table. We see them. They've come together. They sit around the table. But we want them to come together to sort of pool resources. That means to be that, unless I misunderstand you, I misunderstood coming together. It means pooling resources. Pulling resources together. So they've contributed 5. But what we are now trying to see is that why SEDC is the way it is that this young man is not a political party. I mean, he's not there to represent a political party. He may belong to one, or he may be voting anywhere he wants, but he's not there. But when you say 5 Southeast governors, they are representing 3 different political parties. That is pure politics they are playing. Everybody will tell you this or that. Some may like to connect to the center. Some will say, let me remain in Anambra. I don't care for the center. Some will say, this labor, why they manage build Abia. Nobody should disturb me. Some will say, let us connect to. So all this, but this SEDC should be apolitical. And that's why I volunteered. I said, if I'm to be in that man's shoe, only one project, I will tell Ndibo, only one is so that you know what we are pursuing. Only one is what I'm pursuing. And that one project will be capital intensive and it will be defined. It will have a boundary. If I'm to establish a seaport, you should not be going to Enugu to go and say, what is Southeast SEDC doing? You are looking for it in Enugu or you are looking for it in Epony. I will tell you, this is where it's like somebody is building a house, all of us here. It has a location. Where is the seaport? You say this is where it is. So that whoever want to fly in from abroad, want to come and test you, you say you are building a seaport for Ndibo. Where is the location? You go to that place, it tells you it is. You see where your money is heading to. So if everything now bogs down in administrative bureaucracy or this, you know the ass to kick. That's why I gave them, don't put your hand into anything. Because this, I mean, to so many things, this particular issue is very dear to Ndibo. Now, because of what seaport is or whatever, I said, but we already had an Abia governor that is not on national grid. Why can't we say that in the next 18 months, we want the entire Southeast states, the remaining 4, to be out of national grid? Somebody will ask you how. We say we lies with Abia State. Abia, how much will it cost to increase your capacity to get to Anambra State? It will cost also money, so amount. SEDC, what are you going to do about it? If you can sell this idea to Ndibo worldwide, they will raise money. You put it there because, one, like you pointed out, it does not require federal government approval anymore. That Anambra should have 24-hour electricity. Federal government has nothing to do with it anymore. Enugu we have, so we go with this. And if I'm the way we are, some of us abroad, if you bring this type of opportunity, people will say yes, that's what we want. You tell them that SEDC for now is only electricity. We want to make sure that
that's good. I'm on the program.
We said that we want to make sure that latest by January 2028, the entire Southeast states, the remaining 4, won't be on national grid. And this is how much it will cost us. So this is a project. It depends on the thing might not make meaning, or the thing might look like something that is corrupt. It depends on who is there. If they can copy, if they are listening to me, that's why I volunteer. I said, if I can replace Mark Okoye, I'm telling you people, these are what I'm going to pursue.
Okay.
And they will telling people, said, I'm not going to divert. If that I resign, I want one thing at a time.
Okay, Chim. Sorry, I said Chim. Well, that's good. CM, thank you, and thank you, Mr. Mazi Okpara. A guy, blessing Chukwu, is asking us, taking our topic. 140 billion naira funding should be welcomed, development, and appreciated by all of UNU. What is the problem with some of us? All right, Chim, what's the problem with some of us? Because some of you don't seem to appreciate the fact that UNU 140 billion naira and budget. Well, just before I let Chim come in, listen, if you read our caption, it says, is it, development or disappointment? The question we have been tackling before you came in, some of you in the comment section, is that this young man is beginning to sound very political from what he has been appointed to do. And that the budget so far is weighing too much on frivolities, like organizing diaspora, meeting diaspora, Igbos in diaspora, meeting security. You are planning to hold security summit with state governors, bringing some counterpart funding for that project. Is it what the development commission is supposed to be doing, or doing projects to alleviate the suffering of Igbo people, especially doing the major projects that we think is what we need? Railway, electricity, seaport. It doesn't matter whether you start it, Mr. Okoye, and finish it, but it is a project for the Southeast. So, Chim, we are welcome, and you may have a fresh perspective since you are coming from a fresh. And how is the snow? I think I don't know if the snow I'm seeing on your hair or that is okay. You're welcome, sir. Okay.
Yeah, KJ. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm still at work, so I couldn't join earlier because I was still at work. But we're about rounding off, so at least this is downtime at work, so you can give you a little downtime to either check your emails, do one or two things. So I choose to say, okay, let me connect my phone. The thing is, it's on a good day, having a Southeastern Development Commission is supposed to be a good thing. However, you must always realize, I have this principle. I've always said that the spirit, the prevalent spirit in any society at any given time is the spirit of the leader. The person who is at the helm of affairs. Is dependent on the attitude, behavior, and mannerism of the person who is leading that time. And right now, we're in Nigeria. So people who don't like that I'm going to be doing English here should please endure me. The man who is leading us, everything about him is shredded in. So the things you've mentioned, like, I can tell you that he's been given a mandate. Remember, he is serving that job at the behest and at the pleasure of the president of the country. Some other person may have nominated him from the Southeast, but the president looked at his candidacy and felt, okay, I can do business with this person. So he's been given his matching orders privately. And as far as I'm concerned, one of my conspiracies in that matching order is there's 2027 on our head along the line that needs money to be spent. So some of those money will end up in 2027 electoral campaigns. So you see all this going to diaspora, doing security things. These are just names to be given to the outlays through which the funds will go out. The funds will find their way back into 2027 campaigns. Now, if you look at all the people who are surrounded themselves on this thing from the Southeast, people like Odjus or Carlo, these are not clean people, sorry to say. So the person who is heading that cannot be cleaner than all the people who have played a role in bringing him to office. He cannot be cleaner than any of them. Mark Okoye, I hope I'm okay. Is it Mark Okoye that used to be when Nitel was rounded off? There was another Okoye who managed Nitel. Sorry, I can't hear you, KJ.
I think he's the father.
No, he's the father. Yes, because
it was his father.
He's just 35 years old.
I think so, yeah.
Aha! That's my industry, telecom. So that name already sounds. When I heard that name, I'm like, is it the same Okoye that I know? Anyway, the point I'm just trying to make.
So no,
the point I'm just. That different word, but are all the same industry. So I knew what was going on. So, but the point is this. Listen, on a more serious note, he has an opportunity, like you were saying, CM, to embark on something that would be remarkable. But I doubt that will happen because already I'm not taking anything past this government. Listen, The Minister of State Finance refused to lie. She refused to lie. When she refused to lie, they removed her. They removed her and moved her to another ministry. She refused to come. She came out and admitted that, yes, they were expecting that she would come there and start waggling around. She came and said, no. Yes, you're correct, Mr. Member of House of Rep. The money you're talking about, we didn't disburse it. I don't have all the details why we didn't disburse it. And the powers that be were not happy. When the minister, the proper minister, went to the why couldn't he ask her? Why did he ask her that they should go and ask her? This is somebody reporting to you. She's a junior minister under your ministry. You know that she cannot do anything without your approval. You went to a committee and they asked you a question and you said they should invite that other one. In fact, somebody from his own enclave, the one who started pushing that they invite that other person to come and speak. And they excused him. And the woman came there and said, what are you talking about? So it's clear who is responsible. Yes, the money you're talking about was voted. It was not disbursed. Correct, accurate. But I can't explain to you why it wasn't, because nobody had control. It didn't reach 24, 48 hours after saying that they pushed her to another ministry. So I can bet you Mark Okoye is not going to go there to do anything that will be inimical to his principal. He's going to go there to dance along. And as far as I'm concerned, why is it so convenient that it is now that Southeast Development Commission is suddenly being funded, push all that money being pushed out? These people think we are dumb. 2027 is around the corner. They're looking for funding to fund their election. So that's where the money is going to end up. So all those, listen, if you listen to the senator from Anambra State, what's that his name? He's also Okoye.
It's Tony Nwoye.
Tony Nwoye, not yes, Nwoye. When you warned him, when you said, listen, all this thing I'm seeing in your budget is bullshit. Go and look for something tangible to do. Don't come and be telling me that what benefit is going to do is the summit abroad. Of what benefit is all this thing I'm seeing in your budget already? I was sounding him. I was visibly angry with him. I was telling him, go and remove all this nonsense. What I want to see is so kilometers of roads you did. I want to see project rail. You know, it was in this program I said the other day that the Southeast governors should come together and build light rail and connect each of the states. It's going to help you see the development that will come to the Southeast if they put rail, proper rail. I'm not talking about goods and services. I'm talking about moving human beings. You will see it. But you know what? These people know what they are doing. They know what's of interest to them. So you and I will sit down here and speak of the Turenchi and do the academia. They will busy themselves doing what they need to do. This is money for the boys. The boys will share money. So and that's what I want to say before I shut down, because I'm going to close in a few minutes. So I'm not expecting anything fantastic to come out of there. This is not being pessimistic. No, this is just the reality. Nobody can serve under Bola Tinubu and be far away from Bola Tinubu's behavior. It's not possible. Not even the INEC chairman. Go and watch what will happen. This INEC chairman that utilized as an erudite scholar, watch. It's going to diminish him. He's going to come down. You saw how Daniel Bola went to Al Jazeera and messed himself up. You saw it, you watched it. Went to Al Jazeera and messed himself up. He thought he was talking to Shimon. He thought he was talking to Shimon Kimbaloye or to Ruben Abati. And the man told him, don't come here and lie. I have the facts. These are the things you said. And the whole crowd burst into a laughter. And he started lifting bottle up. And the man told him, no, don't do that with me. Don't do that here. You know, so you can't associate yourself with Bola Tinubu and not be messed up.
Please, KJ, please, I will need that video of Daniel Bola. Please send it to me, KJ, if you can.
Yeah, it's on Al Jazeera. It's
on YouTube. You can watch it.
Yeah,
you know. Please, yeah, I want to log off now because look, Jim, thank you very much for if you talk about that Nwoye, that Nwoye. This is what I was trying to remind, but it escaped my memory. You see, let us be honest with ourselves. I've said this is political.
I am. I am honest, to be honest with you. I'm passionate about it. In fact, I want to replace Mark Okoye on that job. I want to replace him.
You are going to do nothing because the people that put you there, they will never allow you to do anything.
I may last only 1 week, but I will tell you why. That 1 week I will write it.
Finally, yes. I look at these people as Ohanes and Igbo. This Southeast Development Commission is it's like Ohanes and Igbo. They are toothless. They have no power to do anything in Igbo land. Thank you. I might record.
I have to run myself. Talk to you guys.
Yeah, I might come back again. Thank you.
Initial take-up allocation due to limited releases in the previous fiscal year. It has closed at 78%, which amounts to 108 billion naira of the proposed budget is earmarked for capital projects, 17%, which amounts to 23.7 billion naira for overhead costs, and about 5%, 7.3 billion naira for personal expenses. However, members of the Senate committee reportedly frowned at what they described as substantial allocations for consultancy, workshops, and security-related expenditures, urging the commission to prioritize infrastructure and tangible development projects.
What am I trying to say? I went through your presentation, what you did. I want to appeal to you and your team. Let us dwell a lot on infrastructure. It will not augur well for you to go and spend a lot of money on conferences, investment promotion, $20 million, $15 billion, all those things, some of them are not realistic. I want to say it on record. You know I'm very close to some of you here. Let us talk of how a man in Bende, a man in Umunachi, Umudioka, a man in Ogo, a man in Agluzibo can have a feel of South Development Commission. Not issue of $20 million, $30 million. We are not interested though. Because why I'm saying so, sir, I will not support, sir, my dear chairman. I will not support. Tomorrow they will say they spent billions on security. I saw here in your budget, 3.5 billion regional security operation. If you look, the thing was not paged well. 2026 proposal, regional security, 3.5 billion. And I saw another place, 10.5 billion. Procurement of equipment, CCTV, drones, CCTV control infrastructure, 10.5 billion. Now we know that the governors, I'm not saying security is not important. Governors are chief security officers of their state. They have security funds. The federal government has a lot of money they are spending on security. So if you go to some of our schools, I don't want to play to the gallery. If you go to some of our primary schools, sir, even in Onitsha, I was born and bred in Onitsha. Let me use, for instance, our ladies' primary school on Onitsha, Metropolitan Secondary School on Onitsha, more than Secondary School on Onitsha. I'm renovating up to 8 now. So we found that I used Onitsha as a case study because Onitsha is a township. I don't want to talk about villages. You will find out that some of our pupils and secondary students are schooling in a place you can't dream of, think of, even with that for your worst enemy. Our children are schooling in one of the best schools. My children are schooling in the private school, private and secondary school. They are paying a lot of money. None of them is primary school now. But don't how about the children of those? Let us see here. Primary school, secondary school, renovation, rehabilitation, building. It would take 50 million, 100 million to do at least a primary school, a secondary school. So not issue of telling me consultancy, intervention, this one, that one, program, investment program, and all those things, sir. Because it will all go well that a man in the village, a man in Onitsha, the man in Uzuakoli will say through South Development Commission, they're able to renovate their school. They're able to, at least, it will be. The same things are applicable to hospitals. Most of our hospitals, if you go there, you will show that.
Okay, see, you have heard it from Mr. Tony Woye, who said,
Woye, really?
Yeah, he said exactly what is in the mind of some people. You know, exactly. And you see, the purpose of holding this discussion is because majority of the money goes to their personal travels. When you budget 1 point something billion for personal travels, when you budget 3 point something billion and 10 point something billion, how much billion is left for you to do the work?
I don't
And
know.
all the people are going to meet and have these discussions are not going to put nothing on ground. So, Mr. CM, you heard it, and what do you say? You know, which also aligns with your discussion so far.
Exactly, yes. Tony Nwoye, in fact, it's like I expanded on what he said. Tony Nwoye was talking of school, like renovating schools, all this. Yes, that is down to the grassroots, which state governors can also do if they want to be serious. They are building new ones. Enugu state governor is building, he call his own smart school, maybe renovating old ones. Soludo built smart school. Oga Boy Secondary School in Anambra, where he attended, he just made it to be like CKC or Onisha, you know, all those things. I know Alexoti is doing his own, you know. So we know like issues like schools, primary, secondary, yes, it's taken as given, yes. But in this case, because of, I want to avoid this idea of duplicating, whereby you clash with a governor, it becomes political. That's why I said, look at the Southeast as an entity, one. Just take the entire Southeast as one state, and you are the governor. Now, you want to build one thing, just one infrastructure that you know when you mention it in Southeast, it will have, the effect will be total, universal as far as Southeast is concerned. If you put, although you may put seaport somewhere in Abia because of closeness to the Atlantic or in Imo, it does not mean that it's no longer for the benefit of Southeast. The man in Enugu won't complain like that. The man in Ebonyi won't complain. They know we've gotten our own. It's because of the fact that Ebonyi is not close to the sea. Enugu is not close to the sea, the Atlantic Ocean, I mean. That's why we went for Abia or Imo State. That's one. Then you now talk of electricity. Alexoti has laid the cat out of the bag. When he told them at Enugu, you don't need to start from the scratch again. We already have it in Abia. We are not on the national grid. We are off the national grid. All you need to do is talk to us. We know how to lay a pipe or whatever, sort of increase our capacity to cover the entire Enugu state. At what cost? You discuss it. Anambra, we lay our pipe to get to Anambra, cover the entire Anambra state the way it is in Abia. At what cost? We discuss it. So if the same thing for Imo and the Ebonyi. So if Southeast Development Commission, SEDC, goes on this type of thing, electricity, before when I was in Nigeria, I used to say electricity is part of life. Until I come abroad, I now know electricity is life itself. No longer part of life. Electricity is life. After oxygen is electricity. After oxygen that you breathe, the next thing is electricity. So if they are doing this, if he's doing, I don't want to talk about the effect of what it will have, but it will now have this effect. In fact, SEDC should be made a permanent feature, provided that the leadership knows exactly what they are doing. When I say I can replace Marco Koye, I know there are political decisions, but you have to tell them, look, that is not why you are here. And especially if you define your agenda, say, look, for now, what is obtainable in Abia that makes somebody from Anambra to say, oh boy, I better consider Abia State. There is light there. Why can't I give it to the 4 remaining states using Alexoti's idea? One.
Okay.
Until it is achieved, I'm not looking at anything. Yes.
Yeah. In rounding up, do you think that 5 billion each from each of the states is not too small an amount? Does it show any form of seriousness?
To me,
because 5 billion, most of them, their travels alone in a year is more than 5 billion naira.
KJ, you see, you know, this look, if I'm the governor and I've seen so far the breakdown of 2026 budget, I think you should, maybe KJ, I think I sent it to you, should have even published it here, where they said
I was trying
this. this. I mean, it's a shame. So when you see that type of somebody, it's like somebody is wearing gold necklace, a Rolex wristwatch, and be asking you, please, I need money, help me. You may not turn the person down, but you may decide that I would have given this person 100 naira, but let me give him 10 kobo. Yes, he said he said that is what I can afford. So the man did not present seriousness to compel a state governor to say, I will give you 100 million. Although that is for this year's budget. Maybe every year they may be giving that amount of money, I don't know. But he does not command seriousness as to make somebody to say, okay, let Anambra governor can say, I pledge 500 million, 100 billion. Maybe Imo State will say their own, all these things. But what we are going to pursue is neither here, it's not convincing to me. I can't even advise anybody to give money to SEDC now. I can't advise that because it's not clear. Everything appears woolly to me. It's not a sharp line in which you can locate it and say this line is very sharp. It appears woolly to me. Ndi Igbo know what is so much. There's something that in my first analysis, my early analysis, I said there is research they call seminar research that give rise to other researches. There are books that somebody will write. He says it's a seminar book. KJ, you know what seminar, the word seminar. So from there, so many things, it can give rise to so many things. Do you know how many people, their life expectancy in Abia will increase because of availability of electricity? Some clinics in Aba, private hospitals, will be happy that there are equipment they wanted to bring in, but they can't be running it on generator. It will spoil. They might change. So I don't want to go into the advantages or the importance of electricity because I've already said electricity is life itself. What I want to say is that by you doing this type of thing, there is no Igbo man anywhere in the world that won't praise you. They say, now we've woken up. And when you do it, if you can do it now, Abia is now waiting for industry. Come and put on here. We have light power for you. Pay our bills. The power is there. And that's what people are waiting for. Let this thing be replicated in all the 4 states. The next one might be, if I'm to start a seaport, how much will it cost to deliver it in 2 years? You map it out. Then you talk of the funding. That's why I gave the example again, saying, if you are telling the Ndi Igbo in the diaspora, in their millions, those of you in America, please, $100 is what we need for 1 year. 100, not more than $100. The happiness we make in Igbo, because we told them SEDC is not doing anything except seaport. We are not interested in whether bridge breaks somewhere, whether some students need scholar. It doesn't bother us. What we want is this seaport, and it is located at so place. So people can send their brother to go and check. He say it's true. And the trust in what is people doing a skit, doing a blog in the YouTube, and they will go there and be feeding us. So you tell them, I've discussed with a Chinese company or a Canadian company or an Israeli company. This is how much it will cost, and they are going to deliver it within 24 months. But we need this money, and we've been able to say that we have up to 500,000 Ndi Igbo in the diaspora. We've been able to say if those in the UK, 100 pounds, the unit of the currency unit, in the rest of Europe, 100 euro, in the US and Canada, dollars, each person. It's like a census. We will know how many we are. People will willingly, some people may like to donate more, but we say, no, we don't, just let us do it. One person, any adult paying tax in your family, $100. People, and they maintain a register, people will do it. I know what Ndi Igbo can do. They will honor. So far, you told them that this money is only for seaport, and they are not coming again to come and tell you people, I will be at home doing it. You will see me there. Ndi Igbo will do it, and that 24 months, it won't exceed. We have our own seaport. Let me see why government won't allow us to use it. You leave that one, then you might think of rail, because these are something that people will know that you are not coming. You are looking for something that will catalyze the economy, and you are not duplicating it with any government. You are not. And people will not know that. So SEDC, na then hold our light. SEDC, na they are in charge of seaport, or SEDC, na then go our rail. So whether you renovate school, you renovate hospital, it doesn't concern SEDC. That is for state governors to do. One bridge break, you control riot, arm robber too much, that one, state governors, they can know what to do about it. So this is where I stand, and that's why I'm saying I can replace that chap. I can. I know there are politics in it, but if I get there, I will be like Ukiwe. If you know clear, I tell them, look, you know clear. Rather, Ukiwe today resigned from IBB's government. His integrity, his everything is intact. Everybody respects him because he stood, he said no. Because of one issue. He said, there has never been a case of OIC or IOC discussion while I was there. Nigeria never agreed. So this thing happened behind, I'm not aware of that. They want, he resigned. So that is how my own type of thing will be. I will explain to them, this is what I want to pursue. One, electricity. Within the next 18 months, I make sure that the four states are like Abia. How much will it cost? Alexoti, let's sit down with a geometric power. How much will it cost? That is what we are going to pursue. And in Igbo will be rest assured. Some people may even donate freely to it. But make sure that you are taking one thing at a time. Nothing. There's no conference to hold. There's nothing like roadshow. All those investor roadshow. All those ones are just, these are just boo ya. Don't type of, the more you look, the less you see. Money everywhere. Personal travel, entertainment and drinks. Entertainment and drinks for $1 million. For what? You call politicians come and deliver paper. Asuro Iwobago, Asuro Wada. Who are you deceiving? We all know these things. Tell us what you want to achieve. We key into it. You have even all this one they are looking for office. You tell Alexoti as governor. Anytime we are in Abia, look for one flat in the federal ministry, your Abia state ministry. Furnish one room with computer. This for us. Whenever I'm there, I can use it. Enugu do the same. You don't need a separate building. You don't. Maybe governor's office, they put you one area and say anytime SEDC people come, they want to do some secretarial work. This is where they use. In Enugu, you don't need to have a separate bureaucracy of your own. That is how to cut cost. You don't need it. Because they were in their need of infrastructure now. And this is what you do. You win the people over. You don't come and say, we have to have a headquarter for South. We don't need that. Peter Obi governed Anambra. When Obasanjo came down there, he said they should have a presidential lodge. Peter Obi said, look, Obasanjo can my bedroom where I'm living, will it be good for the... He said, yes. Peter Obi went to the hotel to go and stay for 2 weeks with his wife. Say, let them stay here. When they go back, instead of spending that billion, that's why people respect him. If not that Peter Obi is neck deep in politics, Peter Obi should have been the ideal person to come and head this type of something for the Southeast. Let me recommend him. But because he's not there, I can replace this man. I can replace him. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, CM. In rounding up, one of the things that people have said here is, and I think all Igbos are in agreement, what you just said. Majority of the comments from the comment section are saying the same thing. We don't want any more politics. The Southeast Development Commission is not for politics, and it's not for the gentleman to begin to look for how to please Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to stress again that if the intention is because they want to get vote from Ndibo come 2027, then they have lost their way, because it's not going to happen. I don't know why people can't seem to understand the Igbos even till this moment. They're not people like that. They expose evil. They don't swallow it up. And that's why we're all excited when the woman in the Federal Ministry of Finance refused to lie to cover up for them. And that shows you that she doesn't really care about the job. When she went to that meeting, I knew that she had already made up her mind. If the job ends, so be it. You go with your good name. Thank you so much, CM. What will be your rounding up message for the people of those in that office? Because, like I said, ndị Igbo na-asị mmanwụ ga-agba egwu a na-eji the first Oku first.
Yes,
the first step of a good masquerade who can dance is by the first step it takes, you know whether I can dance or not dance. This step that they've taken, it doesn't show confidence on anybody except those who are their relatives. But for those of us who are watchers of politics in Nigeria and especially in the Southeast, it doesn't give us any confidence. We are not taking away from him. This is not a personal attack on Mr. Mike Okoye. He's a brilliant young guy. Very brilliant. I think, again, it's not Igbos are brilliant, especially at that age. We're all, we all moved and shake the society at that age. So he's not doing something that is too new in Igbo land. But we are saying that Mr. Okoye, please, think again. Rethink your team. Rethink what you are planning. Except just like Chim said, which I tend to agree. That is money for the boys, because if it's not money for the boys, I'm sure that you will not be talking the way you're talking. So if you accept it's money for the boys, but if it's something that people want to use and help Southeast, because I don't know schools, any less scholarship, I not just scholarship, I not choose. And not try game high school. Because I not show seaport. I not show seaport. Yeah, we are seaport na ke ga ru o kara ma carry any that thing. Ma go iga kwani rushafu seaport. The other thing I ga ru iga check iga ibu nobi. But railway. No railway. Southeast Development Commission Railway. Ko gba the buruburu. Ala Igbo, so that only Ebonyi nwere ike connect with ndị nọ na Onitsha. Ya ga from Ebonyi, ya ga zuru his things na Onitsha, ga back to Ebonyi. So that onye si Abia nwere ike ga Onitsha, ga zuru ihe ọ chọrọ. Gwakwa onye sikwa na Onitsha nwere ike ga Aba. Biko iwe wele gị nna, biko nwanne we will be Mera Ebere that Indi Atago are too much. What the taka have all those stakeholders meeting in I'm unable stakeholder apart from the southern east people of southeast. Although you're busy south stakeholder in this business, except people of the southeast. Each one stakeholders from America. In the America ready. Anytime you want, you can come to Dr. Damages will connect you with stakeholders. The thing we want to hear and see you do is to go after those projects that the Igbos have been looking for, not what you're saying. And then seminar or in Harvard meeting, stakeholders in Harvard, in UN, it's not our business. We're not as the UN not there since have they developed the place. That's not what we are looking for. We are looking for you to go to the southeast, do those things that CM has mentioned, which we have tabulated here. But NDVC, you are welcome. Let's hear from you. Thank you for joining us. I know you are working. You just left your work. Maybe next time we'll move the thing a bit lower, so it will start about this time. But it's because of CM we are considering 3 o'clock.
I know. But
so
CM is CM Abaliala. Now, on the growth, I just want to ask in country no small. I've packed somewhere briefly. Uno Baleri, everything that was said here was fine. But the man Nashi Obuda in Nigeria, I am here Odionyabu. So Onyamara point get play to his tune. And yes, Shim Kurubu Ezoku. So, but Onyabu, a young man, on a long way to go in public life if he wants to remain in public life. So. Ya guy inti ya put up the proposal self come and dead in charge but we can't do that or resign like CM said. But the idea is good. And we keep a southeast of movement. Our landmass is those serious infrastructure all got easy to connect everywhere. In go movement. This railway and even land movement. It's shaking now some parts of Imo and Anambra and some parts of Abia. Easily connected. You can travel from Abia to Imo, Anambra within sometimes within less than 2 hours, depending on the ABC Aga. So, the place. All those villages are not close to the townships, and they make more development and more and more. Then, like Shimkru, pay attention to hospitals, all these our health centers, now rural areas and schools. Like now, like my place now, also area now Imo State, close to Anambra as well. This IPOP issue, devastated to go villages and schools, So, but I think this thing it will help. Okay, Yakov movement, if they can hang a template, it take a census of Imen from the smaller part, or they are difficult. In fact, I believe among all the 6 zones, Alibu got the easiest place for India in this SSM, this Southeast Development Commission. A big deal. They want to do it. Then Eleba tackle things like erosion, problem in the Southeast time, which some governments are not really taking, some governments are not really taking serious. But Seaport, yes, Seaport getting Yaka so much. And Abalikwa designated one of our airports as purely international airport. But like we said, I would love the idea, but the man to go on a shaky note. On our guy, stakeholders meeting. In Nigeria, and I budget money for frivolous stuff. Consultancy. Oh, it was a real go. But I pray I have of Mufmaka or sit here done. And for once, the fire the man see okay, in MNC, the man effort. He knows the sea has a future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you. Okay, CM, your final touch as CM Andy is driving, so we'll keep you at the backstage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. My final thought one. I welcome the idea of Southeast Economic Development Commission, SEDC. I welcome it. The coming is good because I see it as the government of the Southeast that will do something that will benefit the entire Southeast without belonging to any political party. That's one. Now, where I disagree with them, the man, now because I'm rounding up, this Mark Okoye's leadership is the operational doctrine they are using. They are more like is acting like maybe a local government chairman or another state governor. The way he's talking, it means that when any project, he has no single project. Actually, present it on Igbo. If you talk about this, he will say yes, we do everywhere. Yes, we talk about this. Yes, we can do all those. No, that is not why you are there. That is not why. You are for the entire. If it's only oxygen, free oxygen you are going to give, which you know that is what the Southeast needs now. Pursue it. That's why I gave 3 projects. All capital intensive though, but there's nothing as good as you define exactly what you want and do not make it ambiguous. Pursue one thing that more or less you have a competitive advantage over it. When I mentioned seaport, I don't need to explain it to anybody from the Southeast. If there is a time we need seaport because of the development of our recent past, it is now. If there is a time we need electricity because of what the diaspora, Ndi Igbo in the diaspora, are going to bring down to the Southeast, even in the local villages, and then to help to prolong the life, life expectancy of our people, it is now. Abia has led the way. Ndị Igbo so na ozu ama ha akpụ ogene nya na ebe egbe anya n'ọdụ. If it is good for Abia State, it should be good for Anambra. It should be good for Ebonyi. It should be good for Enugu, and it should be good for Imo State. So what is good for the geese? I think it should be best for the gander. Abia is there to tell us that electricity is important. Why can't South SEDC pursue that for the entire Southeast? Now, rail is important. That's why the evil regime of Muhammad Buhari, thank God he's resting in, he's burning in hell, had to go and start a rail, a modern rail, so that it will connect Southwest and Northwest up to Niger Republic and nothing for the Southeast. Rather, we should be using locomotive. What that thing taught me is that rail is important. Otherwise, why didn't Buhari government left the old locomotive as the British left them and said that it's okay? But he changed it and gave a brand new rail to Niger Republic, but nothing for the Southeast. So SEDC should consider these 3 projects. Now, they now go into details and say which one is the lowest, because we are starting newly, because we have to win the people over. I now zeroed in on power, because Alex Otti has led the way and even made the suggestion before I'm speaking, what I'm saying today. He told them in Enugu that you don't need to start from the scratch like we did. All you need to do is talk to us. It's like somebody want to put a transformer or put an electric pole, connect my house, or take a light from my house to your own house. That's what it means. That's what Alex Otti is telling them. That I have a light in my house. I have 24-hour electricity in my house. If you need it, you are living next door to me. And if you pay, I will connect the wire to you. Why is there anything? The thing is money. So Alex Otti and Abia State has laid the foundation. He told them at Enugu, why can't Southeast SEDC take it upon themselves to say, this is what we are going to do? How long will it take to give it to Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, and Enugu? Maybe within 24 months, within a year and 6 months. It depends on how much it costs and how I'm going to raise the money fast. And I bet you, if you place this before Ndibo anywhere in the world, they are willing to contribute. Money won't be the issue here. Ndibo will say, yes, we've seen that of Abia. It's like some of us have houses in the village where we put electricity with a Lister plant. The person living next door will say, okay, don't worry, I will connect light to your house. Is that same thing that LSOT is asking to do for the entire Southeast? So let SEDC use it as a starting point, so that within 2 years or within a year and 6 months, everything will be clear. Then after that, they move to another project, maybe seaport or rail. This is what we should be talking, and that is where I want to round up by saying I welcome the idea, but the operational doctrine is what I disagree with. The way they are doing it, it's a waste. They are wasting our money, and the earlier they stop, the better. If they can come and listen to me, or listen to what we say here, it will help them. Failing it, I volunteer to replace Makokoye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CM. Thank you for also making our time to be here. I also want to thank CM and Chim, and of course, what's that guy's name? Mazi Okpara and NDBC. You all made the program, and every one of you who is on the comment section, we will try and see how we can get more program going during the week, Friday especially, or Wednesday. Thank you for all those who were there to support. Blessing Chukwuka. Thank you so much. Thank you all the people who made comments. There are many of you. I can't call everybody, but I just want to say we are not looking at the money so far, 165 million as the money for the seaport.
No,
we are saying that
is billion,
yeah,
165 billion.
Yes, 165 billion. No, okay, you Blessing wrote million. The 165 billion is not even what I'm thinking will build a seaport. The seaport, if they bring a good proposal, I know many people in diaspora that will be very willing to be part of that project, because the frustration that the people of Southeast face, in importation is too much. Because when you import your crate, it goes to Lagos, you still pay for transportation back to the east. That cost of transportation can be avoided if we have a seaport and it will be delivered right into the Southeast, and from there you can take it up. Having said that, it's a good idea. We like Mr. Okoye. We're not here to to ridicule him or anyway. We are simply saying that let him go again and tinker whatever he's submitting, and think like the Jews will think about 100 years, 50 years. Think about the 10th generation, not about you and what you can quickly be able to get. That is the knee-jerk approach which Nigeria have used since 1960 that have never worked. Fire brigade approach is for temporary. A nation cannot be built on fire brigade approach. Once it happens, we do okay, yeah, everybody, yeah, we'll pour it in, we'll quench the fire. Before the next 2 days, it starts all over again. So our recommendation is that look for the project that will impact a newly born baby today. It doesn't matter if you finish that project when the baby that is born today becomes 20 years old, but let that be started. If we started that way, by now the Southeast would have been a destination. Our desire is to see that the Southeast is a destination in our time, not when Jesus comes. No, in our time. Let the Southeast become a destination that, just like Southern African people, we don't have to travel outside of the Southeast, or except you want to go for business. There'll be enough business in the Southeast for every family. In America, almost every family have a business. Those who are mechanics, they have mechanic workshops. Almost all the families work in that. Those who own malls, who sell. So there are various different ways that American society is far more organized and better. And let me shock every one of those who don't know yet. But you see, the American society and their businesses and their progress it's not government that is running it. It's individual small businesses that run America, and they are doing that to tomorrow. And that is why everybody is comfortable here. Those who want to work, if you want to work in America, you will be comfortable. So that's the only thing I can say. And I'll say that is what we desire for the Southeast. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. What we have to sell to the world in the Southeast is not oil, it's not gold, it's manpower, brain power. And I think we have it more than enough. Yeah, that's what he said. He says brain power. So, having said that, CM, I want to thank you, and indeed every one of you. God bless you all, and please be safe wherever you are. And we have so many other breaking stories.
Maybe KJ, I think this will be something like an ongoing discussion, and this
SEDC. Yes,
I told you that. Okay, yeah, every Friday or something like that.
Yes, so that people, some people call me and say, "You guys are not talking about, or why you talk about Southeast?" Now we wanted them to come and let's discuss Southeast, so you know that we don't cover our thieves. We came here and we said that if we are voting for people in the South, we will never vote for Jews or Calvin. We said so here. We said so. We say we don't cover if somebody is doing well, we say you are doing well. Not a lot of people like Tony Nwoye, but what he said was true. We said it's true. What he said is true. So we don't go and begin to look at the minister. The minister, they call us, say, come and explain. He said, what people saw in the paper, that is what happened. I'm not here to come and lie to anybody. And they don't like it. Okay.
That lady, somebody may be tempted to ask her, are you the daughter of Ukiwe? Are you related to Ebit Ukiwe by blood? Because it's only a Ukiwe that, that's what made Ukiwe to leave IBB's government.
Yes.
When they brought her, Ukiwe said no. Say it had never been discussed in cabinet.
Yes,
that Nigeria say it's not. So they felt embarrassed and they have to. He resigned. Instead of demoting him, he resigned. So till today, Ukiwe is a man of honor, not just integrity, honor. And that lady is like he's doing. That is what government should be. If you say the truth, so that people will know where you stand. And if I'm replacing Marco, all these ones I'm saying here, say CM replace Marco Koye, I will tell Ndibo these are the three projects. But I've been able to study the three and find out that which one can I finish quick. Maybe this power with Alexoti and the geometrics. We clear that one, get that one out of the way. Then we go to Seaport. This is how it should be. I'm not interested in renovate school, renovate hospital, renovate all those ones. Individuals can do that.
Yeah, that is state governor's function. So I thank you, and we have other breaking news, but we're not going to touch them. We'll probably address them tomorrow, especially one of Daniel Bwala, because you see, we keep saying here that when you go to an uncompromising media, they won't take that nonsense. I'll tell you a story, but I won't call the name of the man. One of the former governorship candidates went to one of the media that I worked with before in America here. Say he wanted them to grant him an interview. And they said, based on what to grant you an interview? He said, oh, that he's a Christian, he's this, he's done this, done that. He said, yeah, but based on what? What is what are we going to, what are we going to be talking to you about? What is it? So he was still bothering them. So they called me, they called me. He said, hey, do you know this guy? I said, yes, I know him very well. He contested one office in Nigeria. It's okay. He's been calling us. He wants us to, have an interview with him. And so we say, let's run it by you if you approve it. I say, yeah, if I will approve it if he tells that he met Jesus Christ. And Jesus told him to come for interview. So they laughed. And they asked me, why do I say that? I said, because I don't know what's going to be telling you. You are not you don't carry that kind of news. That's one. But he's looking for a way to come back into politics. They say, hey, so they thought about it. So now that I've mentioned it, so they are not going to, they've just got their answer. Because they are looking for a way to get back into politics. They look for these international medias and want them to, to feature them and talk to them. Yeah. It doesn't happen that way.
Just to dry clean them or something.
Yes, to help them, so they can go back with it and say, oh, I was in so and so station, and this is what they said. So then Ebola must have got that spot. I had not thought that he was going to go and do what he does to Nigerian media and be shouting and telling them what to do. I tell you this, you don't know what I'm saying, Husseini, you don't know what I'm doing this. Go and try now. Go and try. There's one anchor in Fox News that has a jet. He has a private jet. So it not be saying they are pushover. Not be like us when we saying journalism with tears now we do. This will have money and they'll match you for whatever you come for. Anyway, I'm sure that we'll pick up that topic tomorrow. Having said that, I wish all of you a very blessed night. Thank you so much, CM, for sitting up and then being part of this also.
Okay, yeah. Then let's go back. Let's go to backyard. If you can show the thing, let me talk to.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that Mr. Akpabio, doesn't like why we are doing this using his clip, but
we are still live. We are still live.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. So he doesn't like this clip, but what can we do? He was the one who said it. So let's listen to him.
Okay.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46